on by Wojciechowski.
Ortega comes up with it. Throw
And
just
Kelly
in time
comes up
as they
now.
get him by an eyelash.
Hey,
Way
last
home
night's
tonight,
opener.
bottom of the fifth, as we
In
get a
left
look at
field
our
tonight,
line score to this
while they
point.
sit
And
Roger
boy, just
Bernardino
one
down.
hit for these guys, and they
Kelly's
have
a
not
switch
swung
hitter.
the bats
He was playing
well.
left
That's
field
putting
tonight,
it
but he can
mildly.
also play the infield. He's an infielder, outfielder. 6 feet tall, 185 from San
Matt
Diego.
Joyce comes to the plate looking to put the ball in play. He went down on
27
strikes
years
last
old.
time.
Switch hitter
They
batting
sent him
left-handed.
packing
He
last
takes a
time, so
strike at the
maybe
knee.
they
He's
have a
on
pretty
one.
good idea of how to attack him again right here.
Kelly was in the Baltimore system for a while. Here's the 0-1. Off-speed pitch a little outside 1-1. Last year, he spent some time in this league with Memphis when he was Cardinal property, and in Buffalo when he was Toronto property. 7 minor league years, a career average of 275. 2 on, nobody out, the 1-1. Kelly hits a fly ball to center field. Applin moves a couple of steps to his right to make the catch. The runners have to hold. There's 1 out. Rivera at second. Keeney back to first, and the batter Dilson
Fans
Herrera.
on your drive home, don't forget to tune in to AM 1750 for a full recap of our ball game and, of course, lots and lots of debate. It's the Big O and Grumpy Joe
Herrera,
Show, featuring Omar Cannon and
whirlwind
Joe
pro
Wilkerson.
career. He's only 22.
After the ball game, exclusively
Pirates had him.
on
That's
1750
picked him up in that
AM.
August 2013 trade, along with a player to be named later, which would turn out to be pitcher Vic Black. Changed for catcher John Buck, and now for the Marlin third and some catch. 2 on, 1 out. Wojciechowski slowing the pace now with men on base. Breaking ball spins in there for a strike on 1. Herrera grounded out to second on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. So he added up last night and tonight. He's 1 out of 5. T.J. Rivera at second. Gavin Cicchini at first. 1 out, bottom of the third. 5-0 Fresno. Game 2. Fastball high. 1-1. Rivera tucks the bat under his left arm and steps out. Fidgets with the batting gloves. Herrera reached the big leagues in 2014. A handful of guys from Colombia have reached the big leagues. And it was with him for 31 more games last year when he wasn't here. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball tapped in front of the plate. Fair ball picked up by the catcher Pena. He fires down to Reed in time for the second out of the inning. Kind of a swinging bunt on the play. Rivera goes to third and the 2-3 put out. Cicchini down to second. Brings up Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo.
21, row H. You're sitting in the Topps lucky row of the game. You'll be taking home a pack of Topps baseball cards. Congratulations from Topps.
Going back on the dead run. He reaches, and he makes a great catch right beneath the 433 sign. Boy, Nimmo powdered that one to dead center, but he hit in the long part of the yard. And Applin raced back and made a fine play, robbing Nimmo of an extra base hit and a couple of RBIs. Las Vegas turned away. No runs, hits, or 1 hit. 2 men left. And at the end of 3, Fresno 5 and the 51's nothing.
In baseball, miracles can happen when a team works together. Same is true with the fight against cancer. That's why MLB has teamed up with Stand Up to Cancer. Because we believe that when we all stand up together, we can make cancer history. This is beyond a dream. Stand up with MLB at standuptocancer.org. Hey, boys and girls, ages 10 to 14.
Welcome back again, friends. We played three. Fresno leads at 5-0 over the Las Vegas 51s as Seth Lugo
Please contact the head back
tries to bounce back after a rough first 3 innings. He's going to face Andrew Applin. And the breaking ball's in low ball 1-1-0. Oh, how often does it happen? That makes a great defensive play, and he leads off the next inning. Applin going to the deep reaches of center field to grab the long drive off the bat of Brandon Nimmo. And the Vegas third, and now he leads off, and he takes a strike, and the count balances at 1-1. Applin 1 for 1 at a slow roller up the middle in the second inning. After Applin, the lineup turns over the top for Fresno. Tony Kemp and then Nolan Fontana, all left-handed batters. Lugo's pitch down and in, ball 2, 2-1. Boy, Nimmo's got to feel snake bitten at this point. He's hit 2 deep drives, 1 to left field corner, 1 to deep center. Kemp robbed him in the first, and then there's Applin a moment ago. Fastball foul back 2-2. You'll hang with him. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Applin. Lugo winds and kicks in the 2-2. He tried to hold up on a high pitch. He went around. Strike 3, says the plate umpire, Ramon De Jesus. And Lugo caught a break because that ball was way up and out of the zone, but he does collect his second strikeout. 1 out. And here's Tony Kemp. Kemp has singled and been caught stealing and flied out to left. He's 1 out of 2. Fastball outside, ball 1. No, has 8 hits now. Tyrone gets it back in. Kemp tried to steal in last year's All-Star Futures game. Is now 2 for 3 in this game. And here's Nolan Fontana. Fontana has walked and scored and doubled and scored. Left-handed batter takes it a little low, ball 1. 5-0 Fresno. 1-on-1 out, top of the 4th. Nolan David Fontana. 25 in June.
Season tickets to reserve your seat today.
Go to first base and Kemp gets back in. Fontana, born in Richardson, Texas, raised in Winter Garden, Florida. Takes outside ball 2, 2-0. Second round pick, the 61st overall choice back in the 2012 draft by the Astros, and played for the teams like the Lexington Legends and Lancaster Jethawks. The pitch, a strike, and it's 2-1. At Lancaster, he had more walks than strikeouts in 104 games played. He played in the Arizona Fall League and then opened 2014 with Corpus Christi and was with Fresno last year. Here's the 2-1, no time call. Fontana is the grandson of Lou Burdette, who was a big league pitcher and all-star. He was with the Milwaukee Braves in the 50s, and teammates, guys like Henry Aaron and Eddie Matthews. And he was a key member of the 1957 World Champion Milwaukee Braves, who beat the Yankees in the World Series that year. Here's the pitch. That's a little low, close. 3-1 on Fontana. Fontana's parents, who are Texas Rangers fans, named Nolan after, fittingly enough, Nolan Ryan. Kemp at first, 1 out, top of the 4th, 5-0 Fresno. 3-1 pitch is high, ball 4. Well, Lugo fighting himself. 2 on with 1 out, and Fontana's on base for the 3rd time. That's the 4th walk issued by Lugo. Remember last night, 51s managed to win the game 6-4. The staff did walk 7 men. but they made a lot of good pitches when they had to. And now with 2 on and 1 out, here's Reed, the massive first baseman who was double in a run scored and walked and scored. He swings and misses at a breaking ball down and in, and it's 0-1. Kemp at second, Fontana at first, and the 51s are going to mix it up in the bullpen again. Last inning was Dario Alvarez. And it's Alvarez again, beginning to loosen up now for the second time.
The RBI program.
2 on, 1 out, the 0-1 to A.J. Reed, and Lugo steps off. Looking back at second base, Kemp back for the bag. Cicchini dancing near the bag. 1 strike to count.
Serves over 20,000 boys and girls in more than 185 cities worldwide.
Reed wearing 38.
For more information
Lugo
on
backward
the
glance at
RBI
Kemp.
program, or to
Here's
find
the
the
0-1.
RBI League
Breaking
nearest
ball
you,
up and away,
please
ball
visit
1.
Major
1
League
ball and 1 strike on A.J.
Baseball.com.
Reed. Last year, Reed again led the minors in home runs, 34 RBIs, the 127 slugging percentage, and OPS. Strike 1 and 2. So he dominated the minors despite coming into the season out of shape by his own account. He showed up at 285 pounds, roughly 25 pounds heavier than he had hoped to play this year. And he did play in the Arizona Fall League also. Great power. And they like his batting eye quite a bit. Here's the 1-2. He swings and misses at a fastball, and he's out on strike. So Lugo gets Reed with a 1-2 fastball, a strikeout he desperately needed. That's 3 for him. 2 in the inning. And with 2 on and 2 out, here's Danny Worth. Worth has grounded out and singled and scored. He's 1 for 2. John Singleton on deck. Back, here's the pitch. A dribble up the third baseline. It's a fair ball picked up by Monell, who fires high, and the ball is going to end up in the right field bullpen. Chasing it is Tyrone. In to score is Kemp. Fontana, hot on his heels, will score. Down to second goes Worth, and Fresno now leads 7-0. A dribbler up the third baseline. There was no way Reynolds could get anywhere near it. And so it was Monell's play if he could make it. He scrambled out from behind the plate to pick up that swinging bunt, spun, and threw a ball hopelessly too high for Krause. It ended up in the right field bullpen. It is a throwing error on Monell, coupled with a base hit, I believe. And Kemp and Fontana both score. Snow. Rain begins to fall. The pitch is ball 1 to Singleton. Singleton has singled in a run and walked to force in a run. 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. He swings late at a fastball and misses. It's 1-1. So Fresno 9 hits. And then Worth with the infield single ends up at second base after the throwing error. So he's 2 for 3. 1-1 on Singleton. Lugo staring in, collects the sign from Monell. Here's the 1-1 breaking ball. Singleton a big hard swing at that 76-mile-an-hour hook and fouls it back 1-2. Applin struck out to begin the inning, but then Kemp singled. Fontana walked. Reed struck out swinging and Worth a little dribbling. With a base hit coupled with a Monell throwing error. 1-2 on Singleton. Outfield deep left with a Kelly way over toward left center. Here's the pitch. Fastball high, 2-2. And the infield had huge shift. In fact, second baseman Rivera playing shallow right. 2-2. 2 on, 2 out. Or 1 on, I should say. Worth at second base with 2 down. Lugo a long check of Monell. Looks back at Worth, comes to Singleton. A chopper toward first. 2 big bounces for Krause. He grabs it. Steps on the bag. That'll retire the side, but Fresno adds 2 more hits to score 2 more runs. 1 error. They leave 1. At the end of 3.5, Fresno 7. 51's nothing.
Hey fans, it's time to make your voices heard by signing on to MLB Blogs, a new service from MLB.com. You can contribute to an existing blog on your favorite team or start one of your own. Log on to MLBLOGS.com and start blogging today.
Welcome back. Bottom of the fourth inning, Fresno's open up a 7-0 lead now. First starter Asher Wojciechowski, who fires a fastball inside at 90 miles an hour. Ball one to Matt Reynolds. Reynolds 0 for 1. Fly out to center. Then Johnny Manel, and then Travis Tyrone in the Vegas fourth inning. Pitch in the dirt, ball 2-0. Fresno, a tough loss for them last night, but they now have a 7-0 advantage here as the rain has arrived, sprinkling as we play in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2 balls and no strikes on Matt Reynolds. Wojciechowski back with a 2-0. High, letter high fastball, 3-0 on Matt Reynolds. Looked like Reynolds might make the Mets coming out of spring training, but he's here to start the year. Here's a 3-0. That's a strike. Reynolds took a step toward first, but the count 3-1. We'll see at least one more pitch. As Manel waits on deck, Roger Coronadina coaching first. Jack Boyd down the way at third. 3 balls and 1 strike to count on Matt Reynolds. Wojciechowski comes back 3-1. Inside with a fastball, ball 4. Second walk allowed by Wojciechowski, who has not recorded a strikeout yet. And now the batter, Johnny Manel. Manel grounded out to second in the second. Again, the big shift on for Monell. 3 infielders to the right of second. There's a ground ball, base hit to left field, right where they ain't. Over to pick it up as Kemp drove the line. On his way to third is Reynolds. The throw goes to second base, and the 51s are in business in the fourth inning on an opposite field base hit by Johnny Manel. Oh, wee Willie Keeler once said, hit them where they ain't, keep your eye clear, and hit them where they ain't. And with that big shift on, Monell hit a ground ball that went right through that wide open left side. With that shift on like that, you could roll a 737 through there. But the ground ball made it through easily. And because Kemp had to go way toward the line to get it, Reynolds got to third base with no problem. So now the 51. With runners at the corners and nobody out, Travis Tyrone at the plate. Sports 51s is a big hill to climb, down 7-0 here. That's their second hit of the game. They play in the fourth inning. Tyrone 0 for 1. Wojciechowski's pitch. Breaking ball, dribbled in front of the plate. Catcher Pena picks it up, fires to first in time to get Tyrone. Holding at third is Reynolds. Monell hustles down to second, and there's 1 out. Tyrone now 0 for 2. And the batter, Mark Krause.
A reminder to those fans sitting in the lower levels behind
Krause, we
home
talked
plate.
about him last night, first night of the season. Of course, he won the game with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth inning with a walk-off home run.
Subject to imprisonment
Las Vegas
of
winning
no
6-4.
less than 20 years.
Mark Angels, Tampa Bay, Detroit. Played a chunk of last year in this league with Salt Lake. Reynolds at third, Monell at second. 51's trying to get on the scoreboard here against Wojciechowski, who worked out of a third inning situation. First and second, nobody out. Now second and third, 1 out here in the fourth. 7-0 Fresno. Krause, left-handed batter. Right-hander Wojciechowski sets and deals.
Hey fans, for the latest
Fastball
Major League
right in
Pass
there for a strike.
jerseys,
Outside
outerwear,
half, ball one,
memorabilia,
90
and
miles an
much
hour.
more, don't forget to visit our team shop here at the stadium or shop MLB at MajorLeagueBaseball.com.
Reynolds off the bag at third. Linnell off second base. Fontana playing behind him, pretty much up the middle is where Fontana's playing. Here's the 0-1. Line shot caught by Worth at second base, who has no further play. Boy, Krause scalded that ball. A low liner, and Worth made a backhand catch about ankle high to his right. So Krause, who popped out his first at bat, lines it hard.
Team NBA, I think it is. It's a very good game.
Rivera, who lined the single to center in the
Hey
third.
fans, a reminder to stop by our auction tent here at the stadium. This month's amazing celebrity auctions include game-used merchandise from Chris Cutler and Scott Brody, and even a lock of Rex Baca's hair.
Wojciechowski slowly to the stretch. Second and third, 2 down. The pitch. TJ takes a fastball inside of the kneecap. Ball 1-0. Fine defensive plays made early in this game by Fresno. Nimmo was robbed twice, once in left field by Kemp, once in center by Appel. There's a 1-0 to Rivera. Breaking ball. He swings and lifts it foul to the right out of play, 1-1. Tyrone was robbed of it in a diving stop by Worth on his ground ball.
A very special welcome to the San Marin High School class of 1987, celebrating their reunion here at the ballpark.
Low liner and Worth lunging to his right to backhand. 1-1 on Rivera. DJ slowly moves that two-tone bat around. Wojciechowski reads Pena. Reynolds at third, Monell at second, 2 down. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Fly ball shallow center. Malcolm coming in. The ball falls in. 2-run score. Nobody's covering second. So Rivera pulls into second base, and Las Vegas is on the board. The Fresno lead is now 7-2. Well, they say these things even out. I don't know if they do or not, but Krause hit a bullet that was caught by Worth, and Rivera hits a looper that flops into the Bermuda Triangle between Appleton, Fontana, and Worth.
The wishes to more than 14,000 children, but we need your help to support our cause.
So Rivera is 2 for 2.
At wish.org.
A couple of RBIs for TJ, his first 2 of the year, and Las Vegas now trails 7-2. And here's Cicchini. He'll try to pick up Rivera, who's at second base now. Wojciechowski delivers. Strike on the inside corner at 85 miles an hour. Cicchini walked on 5 pitches in the third. 0-1. Here's the stretch and the strike 1 pitch. Breaking ball. That's looped into center. That's a base hit. Around third base is Rivera. He's going to score. And a 2-out base hit by Gavin Cicchini. And the Fresno lead is sliced to 7-3. Now Ty Kelly will try to keep it going. 51s with 4 hits, 3 in the inning, plus the walk to Reynolds. Kelly flat out to center in his first Las Vegas at bat of the year. And if Kelly gets on, it'll be Dilson Herrera, but it's up to Kelly at this point. So Gavin Cicchini, with his first AAA hit and his first AAA RBI, after a 317 year last year at Binghamton. Cicchini, a modest leadoff first, held on by Reed. The stretch and the pitch to Ty Kelly. Wojciechowski deals. Fastball strike on the inside corner, 0-1. 7-3 Fresno, bottom of the fourth. Only last year, as I mentioned, Memphis and Buffalo is 2 stops. PCL and International League. The 0-1. He takes one below the knees. Ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ty Kelly. Kelly's value wrapped up in his versatility.
As the official charity of Major League Baseball, The Boys and
Yeah,
Girls
all
Club
three
of
outfield
America
positions.
allows more than
Here's the 1-1.
3.5 million children annually
Fastball
the
down and in,
chance to
ball two.
realize their dreams
2 balls and a
both
strike on Ty Kelly.
and off the field. Visit the Boys and Girls Club of America online at pgca.org.
Born in Dallas, standing in now. Heaney off first base, the look by Wojciechowski. The 2-1 to Kelly. Fastball chop foul right by the on-deck man, Herrera. 2-2. 7-3 Fresno, bottom of the fourth. Kelly has invested 7 professional seasons. The following organizations: Baltimore, Seattle, St. Louis, Toronto, and now the Mets. This is his 821st career minor league game. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Wojciechowski gets out of it by striking out Kelly on that breaking ball, but Las Vegas does scratch for 3 runs in the bottom of the fourth inning. 3 hits, no errors, 1 left, and at the end of 4, Fresno 7, the 51's 3.
Real Marin 5, AC Encinitas 0. MLB.com. At Bat is the #1 source for baseball everywhere you go. Available for your phone or tablet. MLB.com. At Bat provides live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Visit MLB.com for details.
Okay. Welcome back. We go to the 5th inning. Fresno at one point up 2-0, 5-0, 7-0, now 7-3. Seth Lugo departs. His first start of the year ends after 4 innings. He allowed 7 runs on a total of 9 hits, walking 3, striking out 4. So now in the 5th inning, new pitcher Dario Alvarez, who pitched last night. The ones had a whole slew of relievers in the game last night, ultimately winning 6-4. Alvarez pitches a little up and away, ball 1 to left-hander hitting third baseman Colin Moran. Give you more numbers on Lugo in a moment. First, the 1-0 to Moran, who has an 0-for-2 night going with an RBI. He swings and sends a high foul off to the left out of play. Strike 1. 1-1 on Moran. All right, one more time on the numbers for Lugo in just a moment. First, here's the 1-1 to Moran. That's low, 2-1. When Moran drove in a run with a fielder's choice in the 3-1 fourth, he tried to score from second base with 2 outs, and a base hit to center by catcher Roberto Pena. And Brendan Nimmo threw him out at the plate. Nobody out, nobody out. Top of the 5th, 7-3 Fresno. Alvarez 2-1 pitch. Chopper to the right side, second baseman Rivera backhands and cannot make the play. So another roller in the infield for a base hit. And this time Moran is now 1 for 3. Rivera went way to his right, backhanded it, thought about trying to make the jump throw and thought better of it. Infield hit for Moran. And Kemmer, who has struck out and driven in a run with a ground out, comes up now. It's raining very lightly here. It's just kind of a drizzle. Hit number 10 for Fresno. Alvarez was the first man out of the bullpen in relief of Rafael Montero. Montero pitched well last night. It was a high drive in a deep center. Back goes Nimmo, way back, way back, way back, and the ball's over his head up against the wall. So Moran's going to score on this. Kemmer stops at second base as the throw comes in way late. And it's now an 8-3 Fresno lead in the fifth inning. Moran scores from first on a booming double to dead center by John Kemmer, his second RBI of the night, 11 hits for Fresno. Kemmer had a triple in last night's game. He's got a double here. And here's Pena, who's flat out and single. The Fresno catcher's 1 for 2. Alvarez is from Santiago, the Dominican, 27 years old, 6'1", 170.
Hey fans, stay connected to your favorite team this season right on your mobile phone with Team Alerts from MLB.com. You'll get a full end-of-game summary from each game, plus breaking news, transactions, and video highlights as they happen. For more information on Team Alerts, visit the home of Major League Baseball, MLB.com.
A 2-2 tie. But Fresno would not score after that off Alvarez. Hutchinson or Walters or Smolker or Jason Bradford who got the win. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, 0-2. 8-3 Fresno. And Pena back in with an 0-2 count. The strike 2 pitch. Breaking ball, foul back in the ground, still 0-2. So Las Vegas battling for 3 in the fourth to take a little chunk out of Fresno's lead, and now Fresno answers with a quick run in the fifth. Here's the 0-2. Fastball, ground ball towards short. Cicchini to his left, cannot get it. It goes out into center field. Kemmer will score, and it's now 9-3 Fresno in the fifth inning. Fresno scoring multiple runs in every inning but the second. That'll go as a base hit, driving in Kemmer. Cicchini went to his left and lunged for it, but the ball ended up going past him in the center field. Pena's 2 for 3. RBI for him. 12 hits for Fresno. 3 in this inning. And there's Applin, who against Lugo singled and struck out. Alvarez was in the Phillies organization for 3 years before joining the Mets. Pitches ball 1. Signed as a free agent for the Mets in January of 2013. High foul back on a play on a fastball, 1-1 Applin. In 2014, Alvarez made his big league debut with the Mets, but he only pitched in 4 games and gave up a few runs in an inning and a third total. Here's the 1-1. A strike on the inside corner, 1-2. Last year, he was called up on August 22nd. First baseman Lucas Duda going on the disabled list with a back injury. He was sent back to Vegas to make room for David Wright. The pitch is a tapper back toward the mound. Alvarez off the mound to pick it up. Spins and throws to first in time for the out. On the plate, Pena goes to second. 1 out. Applin 1 for 3. Pena at second. The batter Tony Kemp, who has singled and been caught stealing, flat out and singled and scored. 9-3 Fresno in the fifth. And Kemp comes up now. Alvarez looks back at second, left-hander deals. Fastball inside, ball 1. It's 1-0. There's the 1-0. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Big league scores. Kansas City. They're in the 9th inning. The Royals lead Minnesota 4-3. Pitch is foul back 1-2. In Phoenix, they've reached the bottom of the 6th inning. The Cubs holding a 2-1 edge over the Diamondbacks. Cubs trying to go to 4-0 if they can hang on. Arizona comes in 1-3. fourth inning in Anaheim, Texas leads the Angels 5-2. Rougned Odor, his first home run for Texas in that game. There's a bounce of the first base side foul. Still 1-2. Kemp, 9-3 Fresno here in the fifth inning. Texas came into that game 1-3. The Angels 1-2. In San Francisco, they're in the middle of the fifth inning. The Dodgers lead the Giants 2-0. Giants without a hit into the fifth. In the fifth, Oakland 1, Seattle 0. Those are the games in progress. The 1-2 to Kemp. Alvarez deals. Fastball swung on and tipped into Monell's bench, strike 3. Alvarez reached back for something extra. There's his first strikeout, 2 outs. And about a Nolan Fontana, who's been on base 3 times. Fontana walked and scored, doubled and scored, walked and scored again. So, Alvarez sets to work on him. Breaking ball, low ball 1-0. The Tigers won their home opener. They blanked the Yankees on 3 hits, 4-0. Jordan Zimmerman got the one over Luis Severino. Miguel Cabrera, his first home run for the Tigers, who are 3-0 now. Yankees are 2-2. Here's the 1-0 to Fontana. That's low, 2-0, breaking ball. Mets beat the Phillies 7-2. Jake DeGrom went 6 innings. 1-0. Eichhoff a loser, 0-1. Mets are 2-1. Phillies 0-4. They play at Citi Field. This will be a 2-0 to Fontana. Fastball strike at the knees down the middle at 88, 2-1. White Sox home opener spoiled by the visiting Cleveland Indians, 7-1. Salazar got the win, 1-0. John Danks a loser, 0-1. Todd Frazier, his second home run for the White Sox. Fastball strike, 2-2. Sox are now. Up 3-2. Cleveland is 2-1. American League Central Division game there. In Denver, the Padres got their first win by racking up 18 hits at Coors Field, beating the Rockies 13-6. Bobby Erlin the winner, Jordan Lyles the loser. Fastball foul back, 2-2 on Fontana. Upton his first home run for San Diego. Matt Kemp hit his first. Trevor Story hit 2 more. We give him 6 home runs. A rookie, 6 homers in 4 games. Tampa Bay 6-1. Chris Tillman winning over Chris Archer, who's 0-2 now. Baltimore 4-0. Tampa Bay 2-3. Breaking ball hit him. And on the first base is Fontana, hit by the pitch. He's on base for the 4th time. 2-on-2 out for A.J. Reed now. 9-3 Fresno. We're in the 5th inning. Evan Longoria homered for Tampa Bay for their only run, which came in the 1st inning off Tillman. The Orioles had 4 homers. Scope, Chris Davis, Nolan Reimold, and Manny Machado. Pirates got 4 in the 8th inning to beat the Reds 6-5. Reed swings and misses, strike 1. Pirates with that winner now 4-0. Reds are 3-1. Ryan Vogelsong the winner. Hoover the loser. Mark Melanson his second save. Marte his first. Phillips his first of the year for the Reds. Pitches a strike to the inside. 0-2 on Reed. Front door breaking ball.
Ladies
Red Sox were down 7-2 into the 6th and rallied to beat Toronto 8-7. Red Sox now 2-1, Toronto 2-3. Pirates the winner. Lewis beat Atlanta 7-4. Cardinals first win of the year, 1-3. Braves are 0-3. Sechrist the winner over O'Flaherty. Trevor Rosenthal the save. Hazel Baker, Diaz, Garcia, and Stephen Piscotty all homered for St. Louis. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. A low sweeping breaking ball to get Reed. The inning is over, but Alvarez in the 5th inning gives up 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. 2 left. We're halfway through. After 4.5, Fresno 9, 51 streak. Okay. All right, welcome back. Fresno trotting out the offense. They've scored multiple runs in every inning but the second, where they did not score. And they lead 9-3 as we get to the bottom of the fifth inning. Asher Wojciechowski through 4 innings, given up 3 runs on 4 hits. He has walked 2. He's not recorded a strikeout. And his Grizzlies have made some nice defensive plays behind him. 51's got all 3 runs in the 4th inning. Top of the order: Dilson Herrera, Brandon Nimmo, and then Matt Reynolds. Stormy Pimentel starts to throw in the Vegas bullpen, a righty. Fastball, high ball 1 to Herrera, who is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. 1 ball and no strikes on Dilson Herrera. 51's trail by 6 here in the 5th. Fastball's low, 2-0. Milwaukee opened up a 6-0 lead at home, had to hang on to beat Houston. Astros got 4 in the 9th, but fell short. And the Brewers beat the Astros 6-4. Milwaukee now 2-2 to open the season. The Astros 1 up and 3 down. Line drive deep to the left field corner. That's in there for extra bases. Being chased by Kemp. Herrera pedaling to second base. He's got a stand-up double, opening up the Vegas 5th inning. Herrera 1 for 3. And here's Nimmo, who has hit into terrible luck tonight. He drove one deep from the left field corner. And Tony Kemp raced over and a tremendous tumbling catch at the line. Robbing Nimmo of an extra base hit. And then Nimmo, with 2 on and 2 out in the 3rd, hit one at least 420 feet, if not further, to dead center. And Applin went way back and hit a very fine play to take another extra base hit away from Nimmo and a couple of RBIs. Now Herrera's at second base with nobody out. Las Vegas with 5 hits. Nimmo with 2 loud outs, waiting in the pitch. Breaking ball, falls in there a little low and inside, ball 1. Ryan Braun, Chris Carter, and Scooter Gennett all homered for Milwaukee in their win. White hit one for the Astros, his 2nd of the year. Anderson got the win over Feldman. Jeffress, his 2nd save for Milwaukee. That gets you caught up in the big leagues for now. Here's the 1-0 to Nimmo. That one hits him. Nimmo will go take his base. Now, 51's at 2 on with nobody out, with Reynolds and Monell and Tyrone. Reynolds, a fly out and a walk and a run scored, 0 for 1. And 2 for 4 in the first 2 games of the season combined. 9-3 Fresno, bottom of the 5th. Wojciechowski looks in. Pena sets up.
Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch. And a high strike there. 0
to center field for a base hit. Charging the ball to Applin. Applin picks it up and fires it home. And Herrera is going to score on a base hit to center field by Reynolds. Nimmo to second base. And the Fresno lead is now 9-4.
That misses wide. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's what you have to do against a big sweeping slider like that. It starts in the zone, and it's probably going to finish out of the zone, so that's a good job just to lay off.
Herrera initially hesitated to make sure the ball went through, then turned on the afterburners and scored, beating Applin's throw. Nimmo to second. Well, Reynolds 1 for 2, 3 for 5 first 2 games of the season. 6 hits for Vegas. Pitching coach Dyer Miller calls time and trots out to visit with Asher Wojciechowski right here. So for Matt Reynolds, his 2nd RBI of the year, he had a solo home run last night. And Fresno now leading 9-4, but it's only the 5th inning. Monell has grounded out and singled and scored. He's 1 for 2. And a number of the Grizzlies relievers leave the dugout and begin to meander down toward the bullpen chairs.
We'll have retro ballpark entertainment, $1 sodas and hot dogs, and
all right, Miller back toward the third base dugout.
Costume receive $5 off the regular ticket price. How can you beat that?
Monell, 1 for 2 tonight, 2 for 6. First 2 games of the season. 2 on, nobody out. Fastball high, ball 1. 1-0. 9-4 Fresno in the bottom of the 5th. Nimmo at second, Reynolds at first. The infield and outfield playing into pole. 1-0. Johnny back in with a 1-0 count. Bronx native waiting on Wojciechowski. Bends to the waist, a long check of Pena. Now he straightens up. Checks Nimmo at second and comes to Monell. Breaking ball, a little low. Ball 2. It's 2-0. And Johnny backs out of there. Travis Tyrone waiting on deck. Two 2-0. Wojciechowski sets himself. Checks the runners, the 2-0. Way up and away. The fastball, 3-0. Monell steps out. Hesitating before stepping back in again. 3-0. Nimmo off second base. Reynolds, the runner at first, hands on his knees, watching. The 3-0 to Johnny Monell. Line drive deep toward the right field corner. That is a fair ball, bouncing and hitting the wall. Kemmer juggles it now. Kemmer has trouble picking it up. Nimmo scores. Reynolds scores. It's a double for Monell, and the Fresno lead is sliced to 9-6. John Monell, and that's why he's batting cleanup. He was green lighted on a 3-0 count, and he got a fat pitch, and he yanked it into the right field corner. It one-hopped the wall. Kemmer had some trouble with it. Nimmo and Reynolds both score. Monell, a 2-run double. There's still nobody out, and the bat is Travis Tyrone. Don't look now, but on deck representing the tying run is Mark Krause. Breaking ball, strike at the knees, 0-1.
But memories can
Tyrone 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts.
MLB.com/download.
Monell at second base, nobody out. In the bottom of the 5th inning, 51s have scored 3 times, and no one out yet. Breaking ball in there again. Strike 2. 0-2 on Tyrone. A lefty gets up in the Fresno bullpen now.
At MLB.com/download.
2 strikes on Tyrone. Wojciechowski looks in. Pena sets up. The 0-2 to Travis Tyrone. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Threw 3 breaking balls. 2 for call strikes. And that time he got him swinging. That's the first strikeout for Wojciechowski. 1 out. And the batter's Mark Krause. Edward Cabrera, lefty, throwing in the bullpen now as Krause climbs in. Krause has popped out to short, lined out hard to second, and a good play by Danny Worth in the 4th inning. Monell at second, 1 out, last of the 5th. Vegas at 1 point down 7-0, then 7-3, then 9-3, now down 9-6. 1 out. Krause takes a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. Big Mark back in, taps home plate twice with the bat, wags it over that left shoulder. Wojciechowski, a deep breath, stretches, looks back at Monell. Fastball high, ball 1, it's 1-1. 9 runs, a dozen hits.
Hey fans, want to be able to take MLB.com with you wherever you go? Then listen to the best of Major League Baseball, when and how you want it through MLB.com podcasts. Whether it's fantasy information, minor league information, or the latest news and views from around baseball. MLB.com podcasts will keep
no errors for Fresno.
Visit MLB.com.
Las Vegas 6 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Ball and a strike on Krause. The look, and the 1-1 to Krause. Fastball high, throw back to second base on a bounce by the catcher Pena. Not it. Yet set. Monell off second. A look back there. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball. Strike on the out. breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. So he's gone to the breaking ball, the old reach back for something less, to strike out Tyrone, and he uses it to strike out Kraus for his first 2 strikeouts of the game. So Monell was at second base with nobody out. He's still out there with 2 outs. Now it's up to Rivera. Rivera is 2 for 2. 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. 9-6 Fresno, bottom of the 5th. Wojciechowski glances back at Monell. The pitch. Fastball inside under the elbows. Ball 1-0. Gavin Cecchini would be next. Monell wanders off second. 1 ball and no strikes on this righty-on-righty matchup. Wojciechowski facing T.J. Rivera. 1-0. Wojciechowski set again, the 1-0. Breaking ball, strike on the outside corner. He's using that breaking ball a lot since giving up that double to Monell. And a count 1-1. One and two. DJ wearing number 3. Half swing, climbing back in with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Wojciechowski bent over at the waist, reads Pena. Now set. Go 1-2 to Rivera. On the way. Breaking ball, swing and a foul back to the mesh. 1-2. Las Vegas scoring 3 times quickly to make it 9-6. So then Monell at second with nobody out. Could do nothing but watch as Wojciechowski recorded a pair of strikeouts, and now it's 1-2 on Rivera. TJ moves the bat slowly back and forth across home plate. Wojciechowski a lengthy check of Pena. Now he straightens up again. Glance back at Monell, has a huge lead. Fastball inside, ball 2. 2-2. Has a look around. It's a deep breath. Getting himself now settled back in the batter's box with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Monell wanders off second. Wojciechowski set again. Here is a 2-2 to T.J. Rivera. Fastball outside. He's gone all the way. 3-2. Huge pitch coming now. Full count, 2 down. Last of the 5th. Fresno leading 9-6. They try to get their first win of the year. 51's trying to battle back and go to 2-0. The payoff to Rivera. Breaking ball, ground ball to short. Fontana's on the job, throws on the first base, and gets him by a step, and the inning is over. Well, the Las Vegas 51's got 3 runs, but they had Monell at second base with nobody out. It could not advance him. 3 runs do score in the inning on 3 hits. No errors, 1 left, and at the end of 5, Fresno 9 and the 51 6. Greetings again, my friends. We've gone 5 offense-packed innings in Game 2 of the 2016 PCL season.
So we're looking for 2-1 homers to make it 3-0 A's in the third, and McKinley doubles to tie game to make it 6-5 Rockies.
The third Vegas pitcher of the night, making his 2016
and with
debut.
Cards win 3-2.
Righty Stolmy Pimentel. So Dario Alvarez in relief as Seth Lugo goes an inning, allows 2 runs earned up, 3 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. He hit about it. He gives way to Stolmy, S-T-O-L-M-Y, Pimentel.
Swing and a miss on a pitch outside. 1-2 now.
He showed him that slider running away 2 times in a row. Now might be a good time to call him that 2-seamer running in.
Oh, and he's really got the strikeout pitch working now as he notches number 9 in the ball game.
Not only has he rung up a lot of strikeouts, but he still hasn't walked a batter at this point. So his control has been really, really spot on so far.
And Texas briefly last year. He spent most of last year in this league at Round Rock. 17 games, 12 as a starter, winning 5, losing 3, a 5.4 ERA. Worth 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run scored. Fastball low, and it's already 3-0. Worth the cleanup man, followed by John Singleton and Colin Moran. 51s still in the game at 9-6, but they can ill afford to fall to give up too many more runs here. Pitch is a strike on the inside corner, 3-1. So Pimentel falling behind 3-0 and deals a strike near the inside corner, 3-1. Grizzlies winning it all last year. Trying to get even in the series. Here's the 3-1 from Pimentel to Danny Worth. High drive in a deep left center field. Nimmo in pursuit. He's in the alleyway to make the catch. Nimmo had a good jump on that ball and ran it down. 1 down. Worth 2 for 4. And the batter, John Singleton, the DH, who has singled in a run, walked in a run, and grounded out 1 for 2. Pimentel,
Hi, welcome to my stream.
Big league win with the Pirates against the Cubs 2 years ago. 33 career big league games total, a 2-2 major league
record. Into the box now,
Craig
Rogers. As he'll go after the first pitch and bounce 1 foul for the first
strike.
strike.
At 91 miles an hour. To Singleton with Colin Moran on deck. We mentioned the Cubs.
2 out, nobody on.
Bad news for them today. Their outfielder / catcher Kyle Schwarber, hits outside 1-1. He was involved in a violent outfield collision last night. Has been diagnosed with a torn ACL and LCL in his left knee. As a result, he will miss the entire season, according to MLB.com. Pitch foul back. 1-2. Schwarber.
Fans, Major League Baseball is proud to announce the creation of All Stars Among Us, a program that will
got to the big leagues in
30
Chicago last June and quickly transitioned
to community service.
from a top prospect to a middle-of-the-order lineup guy. He had 246, 16 home runs. Left field, and he wasn't catching.
This is Beyond Baseball.
Singleton takes in the dirt, 2-2. So unfortunately, Schwarber will not be seen in a Cubs lineup until next year. So in a corresponding move, call up utility man Minonori Kawasaki. Figures to serve in a bench role with Jorge Soler. So I thought it was been talked about quite a bit. Fastball low and inside, 3-2 on Singleton now. 9-6 Fresno in the top of the 6th inning.
Ripped down the first base line, but this will get foul for strike 2.
But the Cubs are nothing if not very deep. But a challenge nonetheless. They counted on Schwarber for big
swinging a high pop-up straight back, though it looks as though he'll have room back there. And he will indeed make the play in foul territory to retire the side.
And that
Rays go in order, 1, 2, 3. They trail it here, 2-0.
Right center for his first homer of the year. And it is now a 10-6 Fresno lead in the top of the 6th inning.
Albert Pujols will get us going for the Jays here as they start their half of the sixth.
And the big man hit it out of a defense in right center.
And action now in the Tampa Bay pen as it looks like a right-hander's begun to get loose.
Their first home run as a team of the night.
And line drive to left. Joyce has him played perfectly as he puts it away for out number one.
10-6 Fresno now.
And you know, he really doesn't have to throw that changeup all that much for it to be an effective pitch. And you can see where his breakdown is so far.
Drew Cortez will be the batter. Couple of singles to his credit thus far.
Well, 2 singles isn't necessarily an eye-catching performance, but hey, I'm sure he's feeling just fine about it.
Bases empty, 1 out. Pimentel deals. Low and inside ball 1. 1-1 the count.
Hard hit ball to second. And the 6th inning is progressing quickly here. Now 2 away.
Up next for the
John Kenner on deck.
catcher.
Fresno getting a wide swath of support across the lineup.
Into the box, Jose Lobaton. He successfully laid down a sac bunt in his last plate appearance.
Yeah, a well-executed bunt his last at-bat, but obviously this time he's swinging away.
And that's in there, so perhaps some life here with 2 men out.
The batter, number 13.
Boy, do you want to wake up call as an infielder? How about this one? That's just a duck and cover there.
And Alvarez to the mound. There's a ground ball to the right side. Second baseman Rivera has it and lobs it over to Krause. 2 down in the top of the 6th. All right, now 1 for 4, and here's Kemmer.
Into the box, Nick Ortega.
Grounded out to drive in a
pulled toward right center field. On the move is Kiermaier. And that retires the side. 4 pitches, all it takes to retire the Jays. They're up 2-0. Ryan Hennigan will come in now to start things out here in their half of the 6th as they look for a reversal of fortunes here. The first 5 innings have not been particularly kind to them.
And I think that's putting it mildly. Just 1 hit in these first 5 innings. They're going to need to do a better job of finding good pitches to hit. But that fellow on the mound has not made it easy on him, and that's for sure.
Baseball-related birthdays on this date. Yonder Alonso and Jeremy Hellickson.
Sends that one out of play for strike 1.
Are both 29.
Halfway to 100 pitches. Here it is.
Birthday today.
Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
And I'll tell you, being in a 2-strike hole is not the spot you want to be in against a guy like this.
Carlos Santana, also a birthday today.
Hit to short.
Bobby Wilson. Currently active was a couple of Hall of Famers.
And they will not get him at first as he's able to leg out the throw. Hold on here, though. You can see the skipper heading out of the dugout now, so that very close, safe call might be challenged.
Passed away way too soon.
Yeah, I wasn't so sure about him being safe either, but here's one more look at it right here. Tough to tell for sure from that angle. We'll have to wait and see what the signal is from the dugout.
A chop with the first base side foul. The count goes full of 3-2.
So here's the signal from the bench, and they will indeed ask for the play to be reviewed. So the umpires will get on the horn with the replay operations center in Manhattan and attempt to get a definitive answer on this play.
Okay, well, we're going to get one more look at it right here. Is there enough video evidence to overturn this call?
To 4 runs on 6 hits last
yeah,
night.
I think that shot right there makes it look like he might have been out. So this might be a well-used challenge.
Okay, so it looks like the umpires are wrapping up their decision, and off comes the headset, and he's out. So the original call is overturned, and instead of having a base runner at first, the bases will now be empty. Settling in now, Orlando Looney. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time.
1 on with 2 outs. 5,689. The official paid attendance tonight as light rain continues to fall. Here's the pitch to Pena from Pimentel. Fastball.
Sail into the windup. Here it is.
Third baseman Reynolds starts after,
and here's a fastball called for strike 1. He continues to get ahead here. He's been in complete control.
I think you need to guard yourself from being overconfident, though. A bloop and a blast could still turn this game on its ear.
Strike the count.
A lot of movement that time. It's 0-2.
Boy, he is just wearing guys out with that 2-seam fastball. I don't care if it's inside, outside, he's really hitting his spots well.
And the 0-1.
And some action now in the Toronto bullpen as a right-hander starts to get loose.
Strike to the knees on the
and
outside
he
nice
struck
pitch.
him
0-2
out. The 10th victim set down on strikes thus far. All right, folks, montage alert.
Hi, welcome to my stream.
Look at his performance so far. 10 strikeouts for him in the ball game as he continues to just plow right through this lineup one after another.
Plenty of room near the coaching box. He's got it with 2 hands. That's the inning. Pena fouls out. Now 2 for 4. Fresno does get a run on John Singleton's solo home run. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. We get to the bottom of the 6th inning. Fresno 10, 51-6.
In now, Jemile Weeks. As Sale will get the upper hand to start the at-bat here at strike 1.
And that has been the comfort zone so far in this outing. He's just lived on that outside corner, and it's paid big dividends for him.
And this one's chopped foul right at home plate. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Down in order go the Rays. It's 2-0. Back here at Tropicana Field in St. Pete. 7th inning coming up with the Jays out in front as we give you a look at our game summary to this point. Guy Ramirez will come forward now to begin the 7th inning in what's been a very briskly played ball game here tonight.
And that's what happens when you get 2 starters that are on top of their game. It's been great pitching, great defense, not a lot of base runners, and a very even game through 6 innings.
Ground ball sent back up the middle. Looney scoops it up, and the throw to first is in time, so the leadoff man is gone here to start inning number 7.
The second baseman, number 18, Ben Zobrist.
We'll take a look here at his pitch count, and you can see, at least early on, he's been around the plate quite a bit. 36 strikes so far. Now, that's a sign that his location is where it needs to be.
Ben Zobrist will stand in yet again as we flash you back to the middle innings. This was a turning point here. A solo home run that was really one of the key at-bats of the ball game to this point.
In Fresno, battling it out in Game 2 of the season. Las Vegas victorious last night 6-4. Coming from behind to do so. They were trailing the whole night and finally tied it
Now
eighth
a swing and a fly ball.
Krause home run.
And it's a foul ball.
Low from the new Fresno pitcher, reliever Edward Cabrera. Relieving starter Asher Wojciechowski will give you his numbers in a moment.
Hellickson gets the sign. Here he comes 0-1. Grounder hit hard down the first baseline.
51's
underhanded flip, and the throw is not going to be in time as he's able to reach base safely.
Never an easy play right there. Just trying to hit your pitcher in stride when you know it's going to be a close play at the bag. And this time the flip comes up just a little too late, and that's an infield single.
Strike 3-1. Not great numbers, but he's been so well supported, he's got a chance for a win.
Stepping in now, Justin Dillard. Now a late square, and this could be hard enough to get to. And the throw will come to first, so the sacrifice works as planned. And he'll try to get back now, but it's not going to work. The throw hangs him out to dry, and that'll end the inning. 1 hit in the inning, but no one left. It is stretch time here in Tampa. We'll stretch with them. It's the Blue Jays 2, the Rays nothing.
28 years old.
Kevin Kiermaier will stand in, and he, like so many others, hitless in the ball game so far.
Well, we've been talking about it a lot, but this offense is just getting shut down right now. We've seen some really fantastic pitching in this one.
Starter Wojciechowski, he flied out and struck out.
Darren O'Day will come on much too early here, if you ask me. It's just the 7th inning.
Darren O'Day.
His time in a Texas organization, big league town of the Rockies in 2012. And it's now 2-2 on Ty Kelly. Last year he was in Round Rock for part of the year, Frisco for much of the year. Pitch misses 3-2 on Kelly. A well-traveled left-hander, Edward Cabrera. The 3-2 pitch. High foul over the press box.
Leading off the inning, Kevin Kiermaier. And they'll need him to get something going here.
And so far in this one, they're still getting shut out. So this leadoff at bat could be huge if he can just get on base, because they've been held in check all game.
High foul, yanked to the left and out of play.
The 0-1 delivery.
87-mile-an-hour fastball that
off
time.
the plate, 1 ball, 1
10-6
strike.
Fresno, 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the 6th. Kelly fouls a changeup back.
Swing, and he pops him up over toward foul territory. And he's retired here, 1 away.
And that's telling of how they've swung the bat. This has just been a punchless offense. And this ball is pretty indicative of their struggles.
Works Cabrera for a walk. A lot of pitches in that at bat.
1 out now in the Tampa Bay 7th. And standing in here is the very dangerous third baseman, Evan Longoria.
Twice and doubled and scored, 1 for 3.
A little tardy there. No balls and a strike.
Getting that first pitch strike is so important
One
against a guy like this.
Moments
you have to be able
in the
to work
20th
ahead
century.
in the count and not let him dictate the at-bat.
When Henry
and he falls behind 0-2. Bases are empty, 1 man out.
Pitch low and outside, ball 1.
Chop foul at the plate and stays alive, still 0-2.
And Atlanta's home opener that year.
And he looks at his sinker for a called third strike, and now there are 2 gone.
He evened it in Cincinnati.
Well, there's no question that the sinker away has always been this guy's bread and butter pitch. You can see where it is on show track, and you're just not going to get a better location than that pitch with 2 strikes.
Into the box now, Marco Ramirez taken high and deep to right. Cortez ranging back. He's there to make the play, and that'll retire the side. Rays go in order, 1, 2, 3. They trail things here 2-0.
The nationally televised broadcast was Milo Hamilton who made a call. Of course, Vin Scully.
Brad Boxberger is out from the bullpen now, as he'll be making his first appearance in this young season.
10-6 Fresno. Cabrera's 1-2 to Dilson Herrera.
Leading off the inning, Miguel Cabrera, as they'll look for some added insurance before the bottom half of the inning.
And this is a guy that can make a big change in this game with 1 swing of the bat, because you know he has big-time power.
Named for himself as a pitching coach. Here's the 2-2 to Dilson Herrera. Change up low, 3-2.
Pitch swung on and hit in the air. Kiermaier is under it. He's got it 1 away.
Full count on Herrera.
Well, it's been a game of starting pitching so far. As on cue, we give you a look at our starter comparison for these 2 guys in our 2-0 ball game.
Short lead held on by Reed. 3-2 stretch. And the left-hander deals. Fly ball deep toward the left field corner, racing over his Kemp on the dead run. He goes into a dive in foul territory and can't quite get it. The ball was hooking. It was fouled by just a couple of feet. And Kemp, a valiant effort, went into an all-out dive, just laying out for the ball right by the home plate section of the bullpen.
On its
and
way.
Almost made a highlight reel grab,
the second pitch of the inning is popped up. Over on the left side of the infield. Longoria is there, and fielder's gone on just 1 pitch. Very brisk pace to the ball game thus far. 2-0 our score as you get a look there at the line score to this point in the contest.
Henry Aaron, who ended up with 755 home runs. That will lead us into the Ted Weems trivia question. The previous
Albert
year,
Pujols digs in now after lining out in his last try.
Yeah, he put a good swing on it last time, so we'll see if he can make one fall here.
Foul back, 3-2 still. Henry Aaron was one of them. One of the 3
Ready
grades
with the
in
first
1973
pitch. Here it
to hit 40
comes.
balls.
Out in front of it, strike 1.
Who was the other guy? The other guy went on to a very successful major league managerial career. He was the 3rd Brave, hit 40 more home runs in 1973. Managed in the big leagues.
Comes set with the 0-1.
Well noted.
Swing and a liner, but this will be a foul
Fly ball
ball.
to shallow center. Here comes Applin on the dead run, and he goes into a dive and makes the catch, sliding on the wet grass. Nice catch by Applin, saving a base hit by Herrera. 2 down.
High in the air out to center
And here's
field.
Brandon Nimmo.
Kiermaier over to his
2
left.
deep drives, 1 to left, One to center.
No trouble with this one, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays, as they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead.
He was hit by a pitch and scored in the 3-run fifth.
Leading off the inning, Luke Colon, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up.
Well, it's a close ball game, but it's starting to get late, so they need to get at least one back here in this inning.
And he's retired, one
very
away.
Good defensive plays tonight by Fresno. All over
This isn't always the way you want to play it. I mean, it's late in the game. Your guys are losing. Wouldn't be such a bad idea to take a pitch or two. Instead, he chases after the very first pitch, and it's an easy out.
Short lead off first. Cabrera.
Digging in, Matt Joyce. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
Well, at the very least, he went down hacking. Striking out is one of the many frustrations that go along with hitting, and you have to accept that it's going to happen sometimes.
Ball and a strike.
He pulls this one into right. Oh, and he misses it.
Cabrera set again. Lefty on lefty. Kelly off first to pitch.
And that's a big double right there.
Base, down Grant by Reed, who steps in the bag to retire the side.
That's going to get the tying run to the plate. So we're going to see how they want to handle this defensively now with the open base.
No runs or hits, no errors, and a man left.
James Loney will come on to pinch hit here in a big spot.
Number 21.
And Sonny Gray has pitched 5 hit, no innings.
Sent on the ground out to second. Zobrist is there. On to first as Loney is set down here. 2 away now.
These days in this game, we talk so much about situational hitting. Hit behind the runners, move guys up. But with 1 out, you got to try to drive that guy in. That was a really unproductive out, even though the guy moves to third.
Ryan Hennigan comes to the plate now, representing the potential tying run.
Well, if he gets a pitch to drive right here, you can bet that he's going to give it a rip. But at the very least, they need a productive AB out of him right here.
And he lays off a pitch in there for the first strike. Hot shot on the ground is short. Ortega fields it cleanly. And 8 innings have come and gone now as the inning is over. A golden opportunity to get on the board here goes for naught. Don't go anywhere. More Tuesday Night Baseball after this. Nighttime here in the Tampa Bay St. Pete area as we welcome you back for the 8th in this one on the show. James Loney will stay in the ball game as he'll take over at first base.
Now playing first base, number 21, James.
Off the top of the 9th, Drew Cortez, as they'll look for some added insurance before the bottom half of the inning.
Here, Cashman Field, Las Vegas. A dramatic come from behind win last night of the opener, 6-4. Fresno
hit sharply toward the right side, and there's a base hit, and this could wind up as an important insurance strike here as the leadoff man's aboard to start the 9th.
Oh, yeah, he's got that magic wand going now. That's his 3rd hit in 4 trips. All of them
Lugo,
singles.
the starter, went 4. Dario Alvarez went 1.
Now in the box, Jose Lobaton. He'll swing it from the left side right here.
And you know, guys, he's not quite as successful when he's batting left-handed in general.
No strikeouts.
He tends to have more success from the other side.
He was with the 51s last year.
Drops one down here, and he'll try to beat it out. Only played at first, so the sacrifice works that time.
Has single at 3 at-bats. After him, it's the top of the order. Tony
you can see what he's trying to do right here. It's been such a struggle for these guys to score runs so far. He's thinking about taking a little bit of a different approach up there. He had the right idea, just didn't really work out for him.
He'll be 28 next month. That's traded Ike Davis to the Pirates for Zach, and the player winning later turned out to be pitcher Blake Taylor.
Into the box, Nick Ortega. Hard hit ball towards the hole, and that's in there, base hit.
He was 4-4 in 63
and they won't risk it at third, so they're at the corners now with only 1 away. So he waited till the 9th inning, but he comes through here to extend the hit streak. That was close.
Every time he comes to the plate, the pressure gets bigger and bigger. He waited until the 9th inning, but got it done.
Ventura College for a couple of years. There's a strike.
Standing in now, Guy Ramirez, as he lines this one out to center. Kiermaier is there. Let's see if they test it.
Las Vegas.
And never much of a chance to even think about scoring there. What a big second out.
Here's another instance of a ball actually hit too hard to try to score on. He doesn't have to go all that far to make the play here, so it's probably a wise decision not to test his arm.
Ben Zobrist will come forward now in what could be an at-bat that goes a long way toward deciding this ball game.
And they better be careful, too, because they haven't gotten him out yet, so this is no small task.
Kept a total of 2 for 6 first 2 games of the year. He tries to bunt and fouls it outside third, rolling toward the dugout. Strike one, 0-1 on Kemp.
Swung on and chopped toward the hole. Gloved by Loney, and the 2-out threat will not come to pass as the inning is over. So it's no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left stranded. 9-1-2 scheduled to lead off the bottom of the ninth. The Jays lead it 2-0.
Safe at second with a steal is Andrew
Orlando Looney will stand in now to lead things off, and he'll do so with the same pitcher still out there. Seems he's earned himself another inning.
I think that's a definite vote of confidence. But he's done a nice job since coming in, so you might as well ride that hot hand.
Henry Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's home run record on this date in 1974. Previous year, he was one of 3 Braves.
First pitch hack in here, and that's the first strike.
Darrell Evans, and here's the third guy. Kemp hits a high foul to left. That's out.
Oh, good spot on the black for strike 2. Boy, no messing around here in this 9th inning.
And that's a closer's mentality. They're not usually the best at setting guys up. They're going to come right at you with their best pitch. Usually a fastball.
43 home runs.
Från The Jarvis is home, taking 1 in the 5th.
There's a 1-2 Kemp.
Swing and a miss, and that'll get a groan from the home supporters here. 1 away.
And he's pretty much just overmatched the plate here. I mean, they had so much success with the first 2 fastballs. No reason not to stay with it. That was easy as they come right there.
In now, Jamal Weeks, as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike 1. One out, nobody on.
This date in 1969.
Chop foul over towards the dugout.
Expanded. Kansas City Royals played their first ever game on this day. The American League West.
Protecting on 0-2, so we'll do it again.
Going to third base is the runner Applin, and the pitch is fouled out. Applin trying to steal third. And Kemp fouled a fastball back.
Now the 0-2 pitch.
Applin went for a head first dive at
Can't
third base.
quite get around in time to keep it fair, and it remains 0-2.
6 Fresno.
And he struck him out again. So that's the old sombrero there, partner. 4 strikeouts in the ballgame.
I'll tell you what, if you're related to this guy right now, you might want to turn away from the screen because this is going to be tough to watch. Here they are, one after another. That's 4 strikeouts for him, and that's called the Golden Sombrero.
As well as the San Diego Padres. And you have been a PCL suit.
Standing in, Kevin Kiermaier. As this is popped foul behind the plate, it's strike 1. 2 out, nobody on. Taking called strike 2, and now they're down to their final strike tonight. So that pitch isn't going to light up the radar gun, but it's been effective.
Well, it doesn't have to. If you get that good movement and put it in the right spot, it's plenty good enough to do the job.
Now a swing, and he pops him up, and this should do it. Ortega is there for it, makes the catch, and that's the ball game.
And this save will wind up being the 3-inning variety, and that's got to be okay with him as he gets the final 9 outs to finish off this victory.
Walked and scored and was hit by a pitch. So altogether, he's 1 for 1 officially with 3 runs scored. 51 pulled the infield in the top of the 7th inning with 1 out, and Applin at third base, and Fresno leading by 4. Krause and Rivera on the right side, Cicchini and Reynolds on the left side, all in tight. Sinker for a strike, 0-1 on Fontana. Strike on Fontana. Thornton sets. Runner at third, 1 out the pitch. Sinker low. 1-1. This date in 1966. for the Astrodome. The Astros
this one, definitely a low-scoring affair as we get one last look at our final line score.
Proposed an experimental playing surface of nylon grass. Trying to play on an all-dirt field necessitated the need to paint the dome's glass panes to reduce the glare, preventing natural grass from growing.
Well, you always hope to get a good outing from your starting pitcher, but this man went above and beyond in this one. He's our top player of the game.
Yeah, he was really overpowering guys out there. Look at the line score. He winds up with 11 strikeouts, and he definitely was a deciding factor in this one.
Close. Thornton stares in at Monell. Applin off the bag at third. Thornton ready. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball foul back. 3-2.
So that'll just about do it. For Eric Karros, Steve Lyons, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a presentation of MLB The Show. For more, don't forget to check out theshownation.com. The Blue Jays come out on top, 2-0. Good night from Tampa.
Fifth time. Thornton nods yes to Monell. Set of the belt. The payoff pitch. Foul off to left out of play. Still
Fans, our final line score tonight.
This date in 1963, his first Major League Plate appearance. Pete Rose works out a walk. Reds 5-2 win over Pittsburgh at Crosley Field. Rose, the eventual all-time hit leader. Did not get a hit in that game. Went 0 for 3, but he scored his first big league run when Frank Robinson homered in the bottom of the first inning. Yeah, here's the 3-2. Fontana strokes it into center for a base hit. That'll score Applin. Nimmo scoops it up and gets it back in. So Fontana having a very nice second game of the year. He is 2 for 2, on base 5 times. He's already scored 3 times, and now he picks up an RBI. So they cash in the leadoff walk, and it's now 11-6 Fresno, and they've got 14 hits. And here's Reed. Reed has doubled in a run and scored. Walked and scored, struck out twice, 1 for 3. Long drive to right field. This one is going to hit at the base of the wall. Played by Nimmo. Fontana is being sent home. Here comes the relay to the plate. It will not be in time. Fontana slides in and scores on a double by A.J. Reed, his second RBI double of the game. Fresno now leads 12-6.
Hi, I'm Justin Allegri, and this is your Wednesday edition of Inside the Show. Starting in the AL East, the Jays held their opponent to just 2 hits as they took down the Rays in St. Petersburg 2-0. In other Blue Jays news, left fielder Josh Hamilton will be out of action for at least a couple of months as he's been placed on a 60-day DL. He has a fractured wrist. The Mets beat the Royals in Kauffman Stadium 3-2. Anthony Rizzo was a force at the plate, driving in 3 runs as the Cubs pushed past the Angels 6-3. The Chicago White Sox allowed 5 hits in the game as they dismantled the A's 7-0. The Seattle Mariners pitched well, allowing 3 hits as they grabbed the win over the Rangers in Arlington 1-0. J.D. Martinez collected a total of 4 driven in as the Tigers claimed the win over the Marlins 8-4.
A little inside ball 1.
The Milwaukee Brewers defeated the visiting Giants 6-2. The St. Louis Cardinals defeated the Pirates at PNC Park 1-0. Garrett Cole twirled 8 solid innings, allowing only 1 earned run, yet still came away with the loss on the mound.
Here's the 1-1. Thornton deals.
The Rockies totaled 13 hits as a team as they made it a laugher against the Diamondbacks 11-4.
Stole second, took third.
The Los Angeles Dodgers hit 3 long balls as they grabbed a victory over the Padres at Petco Park 5-3. As always, thanks for tuning in. That's all we've got this morning. Enjoy the games later today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thornton stretches again. A look back and read the pitch. Sinker a little low, 3-1 now. Now the look by Thornton and the 3-1. Worth swings and yanks it foul outside third, down toward the left field corner, where Ty Kelly will run it down. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. 12-6 Fresno. We're in the 7th inning now. Thornton with a new ball, checks Monell. Reed, big man off second base with one out. Here's the payoff to Worth. Slider, chop foul right by the third base dugout. That boy grabs it. 3-2 still. Three and two. Thornton set another payoff pitch. Worth takes it for ball four. Good looking 3-2 pitch, but narrowly missed. Maybe a tad low. 2 walks in the inning. 7 walks in the game issued by Vegas pitching, and Frank Viola calling time. Trotting out. Viola looking toward home plate, saying something to Ramon De Jesus. And Viola now still looking toward De Jesus as he approaches the mound. Viola and De Jesus are talking at the front slope of the mound. Thornton there and the entire infield is there along with Monell. Now, Viola has been thrown out of the game by the plate umpire Ramon De Jesus. Pitching coach Frank Viola, apparently arguing balls and strikes, has been tossed out of the game by Ramon De Jesus. Viola, you can tell. Now, he's still angry. He's still yelling at De Jesus and flailing his arms around a little bit. The moment he never really actually looked at the mound. The whole time he was walking out, he was looking at De Jesus. And then De Jesus went to the mound along with Viola. And Viola is shown the door. And Viola is still arguing. So we're in the 7th inning with 1 out. 2 Fresno runs have scored to increase their lead to 12-6. The last pitch to Danny Worth, a very close 3-2 pitch for ball 4. And Viola has been ejected for arguing with the plate umpire Ramon De Jesus. And now Viola slowly making his way back to the first base dugout, turning and saying some more. A few more words of protest to the umpire. Finally leaving. And the fans here giving Viola a hand for his enthusiasm, let's say. There you go. Now Singleton will face Thornton with Reed at second and Worth at first, and 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Boys looking for 2.
Now from the home of the Rays, you get a look there at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. Today it's the finale of this 4-game set between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. These two should provide some big-time fireworks.
It's hit hard to make 4-0 A's in the 5th, and he has hit 2 homers in the game, and the Rockies win 6-5.
Will be on the mound for Game 4. What do we need to know here, EK?
Well, Matty, last year he was really solid, close to 20 wins.
This year,
I expect a lot of the same.
Ben Zobrist makes his way to the plate, and we are ready for some daytime baseball.
Second baseman.
That one missed down, made a little outside. Ball 1, 1-2.
Ripped on the ground to first. Gets dirty and gloves it. It's in time.
No way. That was awesome. That is so smooth over there at first base. The ball's headed for the hole, but he pulls it in at full stretch. And then I thought he'd probably flip it, but he decides to just take it himself, and he wins that race to the bag.
2 on, 1 out, 7th inning. This will be a 2-2 pitch to John Singleton. He swings and chops his sinker ball foul behind the plate.
Stepping in now, Drew Cortez. Yes, he'll pick on the first pitch and hit a ground ball towards second. On to first, and there are 2 down.
He's throwing in the Vegas bullpen now.
With that, a look at John Gibbons' lineup for the visiting Blue Jays. Steve, how do they go about completing the sweep on the road?
Well, they're facing a guy today that
A
throws
one
a
hopper
lot
to
of
center
strikes,
field for
so
a
you're
base hit
going to have
past
to
the
be
Dominic
aggressive early in
Cecchini.
the count.
Reed
but
is being
get the
sent
ball
home. He'll
up in the
score.
zone. Shorten up a little
Stopping
bit,
at second
put
base
the
is
ball in
worth.
play.
That's 4 RBIs for Singleton
Miguel
tonight.
Cabrera
And
gets his
Fresno
first
now leads
opportunity now in the
13-6,
top of the
and they've got
first with
16
nobody
base
on.
hits.
Odorizzi looks in. First pitch on its way. Hard liner toward short. And that's in there. So perhaps some life here with 2 men out.
Single and RBI and a run score. Well, 3 runs in. In the inning, a couple of walks
And even
3
if this
hits.
doesn't lead to a run, it's important not to let this guy get out there and skate through the first inning, throwing as few pitches as he has. If nothing else, maybe you force him to throw another, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 pitches to the next hitter.
Moran climbing in again, the infield looking for something with which they can turn to. And Thornton
First
delivers
pitch
to
coming.
Moran.
Here it is.
Strike of the knees
High
on one.
and deep to right
13
center.
runs, 16
That goes
hits, no errors for
Kiermaier,
Fresno. Las
still
Vegas 6-7-1.
ranging back. And this one is gone. A home run.
Last up, he grounded out to second.
A 2-run home run for Prince Fielder as the Blue Jays take a 2-0 advantage.
There's a strike in the knees, 0-2.
Prince Fielder did his second home run this
2 strikes
of
to
the year.
count.
He's got to be out there on the mound saying, what on earth just happened?
Thornton
He was
the belt.
cruising along.
And
He got
the
the
0-2.
first 2 outs. Then
Fastball
on
tails
2
outside at
pitches,
90.
single,
Ball and 2
home run.
strikes now.
I tell you, you can't let your guard down for 1 second out there. Or you're going to get burned.
Here's Albert now.
Albert Pujols.
But gloving it down there at third is Longoria. Quick reactions that time, and the inning is over. Jays strike for a
And we
couple as we
eventually
get another
cuts
look at the 2-run dinger. On
makes
to
it
the bottom of the
2-1
first now in
Indians
St.
in the
Pete.
fifth.
It's now 2-0 Blue Jays.
Tyrone goes to pick it up. Worth scores. Over
David
the third base
Price
goes
is
Singleton
ready
on
to
a
go
double
as he'll be on the
by Moran.
mound for
That's
Toronto.
4 runs
What's
in
your
for
take
Fresno
on him,
in the top of the
EK?
7th.
Well,
They
guys,
lead
he had a
14-6.
real
We've
nice
got
season
17
last
hits.
year. Had over
Rubble
200
right down the line.
strikeouts on the
Rouse
season.
went
He's
into
got
a
some of the
dive
better
toward the
swing
line.
and miss stuff in all
And the
the
ball
league.
appeared to hit the bag and hop right over him. Now Wally Backman is going to come get Jack
Jamal
Ball. We got a
Weeks
pitching
comes
change.
to the plate
In
to
the
lead
7th
things
inning,
off
Fresno
here in the
has
bottom
opened up
half
a
of the
14-6
first.
lead on this
Second
night here in the 7th inning. We'll be back with a lot more right after this.
Below the knees, 1 ball, no strikes. And Eric, the Blue Jays, as they enter play here this afternoon, it's so far so good as they enter play 3-0 on the young season.
And obviously, that includes taking the first 3 games of this series as well. So they're out looking for the sweep here in the finale.
That's by him for strike 1.
And you know what? These days, so many guys are throwing in the high 90s. It makes those mid to low 90s guys look easy. But I'll tell you what, if he mixes his pitches well, it can still be plenty fast to have to deal with.
Now a swing and a miss, and he's behind 1-2.
Well, nothing fancy. 3 fastballs so far in this at-bat. He could go just about anywhere from here.
1-2, here it comes. And a changeup swung on and missed for the first out. And with that, a look at the Rays lineup card in this one. Who stands out to you, EK?
Well, Matt, Evan Longoria has been tearing it up lately. And he put together a great season last year, coming up just short of 100 RBIs. He's an important piece to this lineup, and he can do a lot of different things really well at the plate.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Kevin Kiermaier comes on with 1 gone here as he looks at a called strike 1. So let's take a look at our umpiring crew in this one. Working the plate, Rusty Valentine.
Yeah, Rusty Valentine. What a great name. Besides that, he's known for being pretty spot on when it comes to calling pitches on the corners. If he misses one, it's usually up or down.
Protecting on 0-2, so we'll do it again.
All right, welcome back.
Set
Brown
to deliver
sugar
on
by the
nothing
Rolling
in 2. Here
Stones,
it
but
comes.
tonight not so sweet
Swing
for
and
the
a miss on the
51. They
fastball
trail
that time, out
14-6
number
now.
2. And with a quick breather here, let's give you a look at the defensive alignment for the Blue Jays. It's brought to us by Majestic.
And the big lead in the
Any
seventh
thoughts,
inning.
Eric?
It's Las Vegas native
not
Paul
enough
Sewald.
people give Miguel Cabrera credit for what he's able to do
outside ball one.
defensively.
Not exactly
Remember,
the kind
he
of
came
game
up as a shortstop with the
Sewald
Marlins and
may have
moved to
envisioned
third base,
making
and
his
now
first
is
game
one of the greatest
start
hitters
for
to
the
ever play the game.
outstanding,
That overshadows
year he
his
had last year at
defensive
Double-A
ability.
Binghamton. As a
He's no
closer, he had
slouch with the
24
leather.
saves. There's a breaking ball high 2-0 to John Kemmer.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch.
Just want to give him some work here.
Evan Longoria is in with 2 away now as he looks at a called strike 1.
Well, if these guys indeed want to get themselves a win here on the road, they're going to need a big pitching performance.
2 RBIs.
This has been a very strong first inning to this point.
And Longoria swings right through that one as he's behind 0-2 now. One of the things that makes him so tough to hit, the ability to put his pitches right on the black.
You watch the catcher's glove on some of these, and it literally does not move. That's how good stuff is.
And he will reach up to make the catch. Oh, what a play that time, as that ball had extra bases written all over it. But with that catch, the inning is over.
In June of 2012 in that player draft. Went to Bishop Gorman. Also went to Las Vegas Day School.
Jose Lobaton makes his way to the plate.
He'll
get us started here in the top of the second.
And they jumped out to that early lead, so now it's all about just adding on.
To the University of San Diego, the West Coast Conference.
Very weakly on the ground. Throw to first will be in time, and there's one gone here to start the second. With a moment now, let's give you a look at the defensive alignment for Tampa Bay. It's brought to us by Majestic. Eric, what do we need to know?
Well, guys, this manager loves to do the defensive shifts. So we're going to see a lot of odd formations as the game goes along. Can't wait to see how it works.
And working now on Kemmer with Singleton
into the box.
Moran
Justin
at second,
Dillard.
and one out at the top of the seventh inning.
Cuts here.
4 inning thus far for Fresno. 3-2. The 2 men on base.
Odorizzi gets the sign. Here's the first pitch.
Payoff pitch to left-handed swinging John Kemmer.
This is line to left. And gets down, and he's got himself a base hit.
Strikes out his first AAA batter. So Sewald did start for the Mets in one of the spring training exhibitions.
And Mike Nipley triples to make it 5-1 innings in the fifth. And on the on your bay, it's a cycle by 5 to make it 5-1 innings in the fifth.
The 2 outs is Roberto Pena. 2 for 4 with 2 singles.
Standing in now, Alexi Amarista. He'll try to bunt his way on as he gets this one down. Throw gets him 2 down.
Scoops this one up, goes to first base and gets him. The Sewald comes in.
Well, I think this is going to wind up working pretty much like a sacrifice, but I don't think that's what he had in mind. This wasn't a show early and make sure you get it down kind of a bunt. He was trying to beat that one out, but a good throw is going to take care of him.
The stretch portion.
David Alvarez, the hitter now with a chance to pick up that runner from second with 2 away.
And this could prove to be a huge at-bat in this game because you don't want to let these type of scoring opportunities slip away early.
Swinging a ball hit softly on the ground, but a foul ball here, 0-1. Now the 0-1. And he falls behind 0-2. Oh, and 2 count. Here's the pitch. Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. 1 left for Toronto, but they're on top 2-0. Leading off the inning, Matt Joyce, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up.
Left fielder, Matt Joyce.
Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch. Into the seats, 0-1. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1. Just a bit late, and he's fallen behind 0-2. Now the fastball is right by him as he swings and misses for the first out of the inning.
Batting fifth.
Welcome back to Cashman Field.
Right there.
Fireworks
Fastball,
after this one. It's
fastball,
unseasonably cool
and fastball
night in early
again.
April.
No surprise what he's
Here
featuring
at
out there
Cashman
today.
Field.
Just straight
But
hard
one thing
stuff.
that's been
And he
pretty
gets the
hot,
3
Fresno
pitch, see you later.
making a run of it around the bases. 14 runs,
Into
17
the box,
hits, 51.
Cologne.
Closest
And
look
she'll
at the
take a
game
tough
was in the
pitch on
fifth.
the
They got
outside
3
part of the
runs
plate
to
for
cut
strike
the
one.
Fresno lead to 9 to
Fastball
6.
looks
And at
awfully
one point,
sharp
they had the
here
time
early
run on
on.
deck.
Sound
Fresno
sharp, too.
Bases are empty, 1 man out.
fought back. A run in the 6th and 4 in the 7th to lead 14-6.
A
Edward
lot of
Cabrera
movement
worked.
that time. It's
He scored a
0-2.
6th inning, working
He's
the
found a
7th
pretty
to Matt
nice
Reynolds.
rhythm out here
And the
early
pitch is
on.
ball 1. So Las Vegas now down by 8 in the 7th inning. Reynolds flied out, walked and scored, single and a run, and scored. And the pitch.
Got him looking with the fastball as that had some two-seam movement to it. 2 gone.
Well, it's been something of a strikeout fest here to start this game off.
Batting second.
Already 4 strikeouts now in the first 5
Right.
batters. Now that's going to be a tough pace to keep up.
It's 2-1. So good and
In
so
now,
young. in his
Craig
early 20s.
Rogers.
Tremendous power. He got hit.
As the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike.
All I haven't seen.
He may strike out the side on 9 pitches. 7 down, 2 to go.
Never the same, but he tried to make a comeback 2 years later. First game back.
On could we see another strikeout here? It's 0-2 now.
And there's number 8.
And will walk off the
One
effects of
away.
that foul ball. 3-2 is the count.
2
He
out,
tried to
nobody
come
on.
back. It was opening day 1969.
Swing and a miss.
And he hit
Blew
a
the
2-1 at the top
fastball
of the 10th
right
inning
by
and
him,
scored
and the
eventual
inning
winning
is
run at the top
over.
of the 12th. Red Sox beat
So add one
Baltimore
more
in
name to the record book here as he
At that time,
strikes out this
Blair was
side
only
on
24.
9 pitches. More
Here in
matinee
Massachusetts.
baseball here on a Wednesday
But
afternoon
he had some
following
success
this.
during the next couple of years, but never really recovered from the damage sustained in his left
Back
retina.
for the
That
top of the
beating in
third here at the
1967.
Trop as we
What
give
might
you a
have
look
been.
there at nearby
Trying to
Clearwater
think
Beach.
Fenway Park.
Ben Zobrist
500 home
is
runs,
into the
maybe
box
600.
as we are
There's a
all set to
3-2
begin
pitch
the
to
third.
Matt Reynolds.
And guys, this is the guy
That's
you
low.
want leading
Ball
off this
4.
inning.
So
He's your
Reynolds
leadoff
is
man,
on
so
base for
maybe
the
he
third
can get
time.
things started.
And now
Set
Johnny
the
Manel
table for a little
will
bit of a
come up.
rally.
One of those what might have been stories.
Squared
Oh,
that one up
lost.
just a little
Taking
late.
a beating by sheer coincidence. It was on this date in 1984 when Dickie Thawn's promising career was compromised when
Odorizzi's ready. 0-1 pitch on its way.
Torres, and that's 3-1 win over Houston, the Astrodome.
Here's his swing, and just foul, says the umpire, and he was right on that one.
Danny Muno, who was with the 51s the last couple of years, is now being announced as the pinch runner for Matt Reynolds.
In under the hands with a fastball, it's 1-2.
And I think that might have
Most
been a
likely to
first.
take over for Reynolds
The
at third
first
base.
ball they've taken the
Fresno comes up to
entire
bat in the
game.
8th.
Sound the trumpets.
Manel has grounded out, single and scored and doubled in 2 runs in the 5th. That's when the 51s cut it to 9-6. Now they're down 14-6. Line drive
Good
in
job
left
to
center for
spoil
a
that
base
one
hit.
away, and
That's
he
in the
stays
gap, and there's
alive.
nobody there. It's going to go all the way to the wall, where it's picked up by Applin. Muno is being waved in. Here he comes. He'll score standing up on a double by Munel, and it's now 14-7 Fresno in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Chop foul at the plate, and we'll do it again. Hit hard on the ground to second. Weeks is up with it. Throw to first in time, and the leadoff man is
Travis
gone to
Tyrone for
start the
3 coming
third.
up now.
Well, that's a
That's
nice
8
job
hits for
right there to
Vegas.
readjust to
Manel
that
has
curveball.
3 of the
I
hits
don't know
and
if
has
he was
knocked in
sitting on
3
it or what,
runs.
but he certainly hit it hard.
And here's Tyrone.
Unfortunately
Grounded
for
out
him,
twice and struck
right
out.
at
Mark
someone.
Krause out on deck.
Settling
Cabrera.
in now, Drew Cortez.
Set, and
He
he
got on
throws.
top of one and was a ground out
Breaking
victim
ball,
last
swung on a
time.
miss. It's 0-1.
Pulls this one into the air out into right field. And he will make the play out there, and there are 2 away now.
First baseman number 24, Miguel Cabrera.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Miguel Cabrera strides in after getting a base hit and later scoring the first time around.
2 strikes on Travis Tyrone. A righty now gets up in the Fresno bullpen out of left
Into the
field.
windup
Here's
and the
0-2.
pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Off speed
Hit
pitch
hard
down.
back up the middle.
Tyrone
And
0
that's
for
through
4
for
tonight.
another base
Second
hit.
strikeout.
He'll make it 2 for 2 in this
One
one.
out, Manel at second, and Mark Krause, who's popped out, lined out, and struck out coming up. Payne,
Well,
the catcher,
he
goes out
had
on a
some
word with
high-stress
Cabrera.
innings here so far.
14
It
to
was
7.
looking like he's on his way to a much-needed 1-2-3, but He's going to have to get in the stretch here after all.
Striding into the box, Prince Fielder, and he'll be looking to add on to his 2 RBIs from earlier.
He takes a strike, 1-1. DJ Rivera on deck. 14-17-0 for Fresno. Las Vegas 7-8-1.
First pitch of the at-bat.
Half of the 7th inning here.
Outside target here, and he hits it for strike 1.
Now you got to regroup after the 2-out single. You're in a dangerous spot in the lineup, so the inning's not over yet. Not by a long shot.
The first base side foul. Knocked down by Reed. Strike 2. 1-2. This date in 1991. Opening day. A 5-4 loss to the Brewers in Arlington. Future Hall of Famer Goose Gossage
shot foul over towards the coaching box.
Nolan Ryan, also a future member of the Hall of Fame. The first time in Major League history that a 300-game winner appeared in a game. The same game with a teammate who had 300 saves. Ryan and
stung into the gap in right center for what should be extra bases. Cabrera rounds third and heads for home. And a relay to the plate. And they're not going to get him. He's in there at the plate. So a man at third here with 2 gone. And standing in, trouble now in the person of Albert Pujols.
Manella off second base, 1 out. And the pitch to Krause. Cabrera uncoils, and here he comes. Breaking ball low, 3-2.
Behind on that one, now behind in the count, 0-1.
A lot of full counts time on both sides.
He's ready. Here's the 0-1.
Manella
hit in the air out to right.
3 RBIs. Leads off second base. Full count on Krause.
Peralta is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3.
Cabrera set,
a run for the Jays thanks to the RBI double. We played 2.5. It's now 3-0 in favor of the Jays.
And that's strike 3. So Krause 0 for 4. 2 outs. Manella at second.
David Peralta will stand in now to lead things off, and he'll do so against a guy who's definitely in a groove out there.
Comes out of the dugout. He wants his leg in. Pitching change in the bottom of the 7th inning here. Fresno leading the 51 14-7. I'll have more for you right after this.
He slaps that one away, and the count will be 0-1.
It's easy off the loop.
0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground to short. And the throw is not going to be in time as he's able to reach base safely. And hold on a minute now. It looks like we may see that last call challenged here. The call on the field was safe, but it was definitely a bang-bang play and tough for us to tell at full speed.
Yeah, Matt, definitely a close play right there as we're going to get another look at it right here. Boy, that's just so tough to tell for sure from that replay, and we're going to have to see what the word from the dugout is. Remember, the ruling on the field is safe.
So here's the signal from the bench, and they will indeed ask for the play to be reviewed. So the umpires will get on the horn with the replay operations center in Manhattan and attempt to get a definitive answer on this play.
The Blue Jays have elected to...
Okay, well, we're going to get one more look at it right here. Is there enough video evidence to overturn this call?
I think I'm going to lose my first challenge of the year.
I think that shot right there makes it look like he might have been out. So this might be a well-used challenge.
Okay, so it looks like the umpires are wrapping up their decision.
Oh,
and
yes!
off comes the headset, and he's out. So the original call is overturned, and instead of having a base runner at first, the bases will now be empty. Orlando Looney will stand in here, and like so many others, hitless in the shutout last night.
Yeah, not really a great performance for him yesterday, but that's just part of this ball game. You have to know that those rough ones are going to come up and bite you every once in a while.
For the Fresno Grizzlies, Yandel, that's J-A-N-D-E-L Gustave.
You'll start him here with a changeup, but it's taken for ball 1.
Yeah, and when your team still doesn't have a hit, you'll appreciate a call like that once in a while.
That's 1 hit. He walked 2, struck out 2. The runner at second, Manel, belongs to him. Gustave.
This one's a strike. It's 1-1. You like what you've seen from this guy so far?
I do. I like where he's putting the fastball, and I like the movement he's been getting on both his curveball and changeup. I think he'll do well.
1 out, nobody on.
Christie last year, AA 5-2 with a 2.15 ERA as the closer. 20 saves in 24 opportunities.
Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2.
He had 25 walks, 49 strikeouts in just under 59 innings.
And a swing and a miss, and another punch out here. 6 already, and that's out number 2.
Well, you could see his mindset at the plate. He's thinking, I got to get out in front here, try to pull something. Didn't really get a good pitch to do that, though. So he's going to have to go grab a seat.
Sox in the Rule 5 draft in December of 2014.
Into the box now, Ryan Hennigan.
Waived by Kansas
a little
City,
bouncer.
Claimed by San Diego.
Foul ball, however, strike 1. Gets on top of one here and chops it foul right at home plate.
The Astros before opening day of last year when it was not placed on San Diego's.
And he missed with it. It's 1-2.
And I think that might have been a little bit of a purpose pitch right there, up in the zone. Now I think he's going to come back down with something to try to get that strikeout.
Swung on and missed, and that's the final out of the inning.
1-2.
Down in order go the Rays. Still down 3-0.
Slender right-hander Andel Gustave. Get set. Here's the 1-2 to TJ Rivera.
Jose Lobaton is ready here as we begin the top of the 4th.
Catcher, Jose Lobaton.
Odorizzi steps into his windup. Here comes the first pitch. Out in front of it, strike 1.
Gustave all set. 2-2 on the way to TJ Rivera. Here it comes. Fastball hit high and deep to right center. But Applin has a beat angling toward the alleyway to make the catch. And the lid is
outside for a ball,
1-1. 7th inning. They have to settle for 1 run on 1 hit, no errors and a man left. We head to the 8th inning. Fresno 14, 51-7.
Fly ball out toward left center field. On the move is Kiermaier, but he's not going to get this one. It's into the gap. And he'll get in there standing up with a leadoff double.
Yeah, I think this was a changeup that just hung a little bit too much in the strike zone. Let's take another look at it here. Normally, you want this thing to sort of run out of steam and dip on its way out of the zone. But he starts this one up a little bit too high. And to be honest, he's pretty lucky that this one stayed in the ballpark.
Stepping in, Justin Dillard. He reached on a single in his first try.
And they take another single right here, too, no doubt. Runner in scoring position, so any ball into the outfield probably gets him home.
A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1, 1-0.
And I think that's been a big part of the problem so far. He just can't locate his fastball, especially in situations where he has to.
3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors in the game for Toronto. That evens it up 1-1. Takes this the other way to right, and that's in there, base hit. And they'll put the brakes on at third. Runners at the corners with nobody out.
What a great way to start the inning. They want to keep putting on the pressure. This puts runners on the corners now with nobody out, and they've got a good chance to add on to this lead and maybe even put this one away.
Now a southpaw up to throw in that Tampa Bay bullpen. Standing in now, Alexi Amarista, as he swings and hits this one fouled off to the right and out of play.
Grizzlies.
Curveball, swing and a miss, and he's behind in the count 0-2.
Now with 2 strikes, he can put the ground ball on the back burner and really go after the strikeout here.
Runners are at first and third with none out. Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. And he takes strike 3 cold on the fastball. 1 gone. So after getting the strikeout on the fastball, not a bad time to check out our pitch speed comparison for our 2 starters. And you can see that both guys are well into the 90s, 95 on one hand and just 2 miles an hour slower on the other. Into the box now, David Alvarez. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
And this is a big-time strikeout situation right here, so they're going to be shooting for the same result, no doubt about it.
Now a ball grounded to short. This could be 2. Weeks for 1. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. Your basic 6-4-3 will get him out of danger. More matinee baseball here on a Wednesday afternoon following this.
It's been Lugo, Alvarez, Stormy Pimentel, Zach Thornton, and Al Sewall. 2 strikes on Leo Eras.
Leading off the inning, Jamal Weeks. And they'll need him to get something going here.
And right here is an important time for them to climb back into this one. They definitely want to even this one up sooner rather than later.
Montana on deck. One and 2, and Sewall deals. That one tails outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Eras will be 26 next month, born in Tijuana.
Back to work now is Price as he gets ahead to start the inning. It's strike 1.
You know, I can't help but notice how much he's getting ahead of the hitters right now. I'm told he's throwing around 80% first pitch strikes. That's way above average.
Jeff Walters gets up in the Vegas bullpen. 3-2-1.
And he pumps the fastball by him at 94. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that pitch is still up a little bit, but at least this one was out on a corner. But I don't think I'd want to be making a living up there too much.
And he struck him out. Strikeout number 8 now in the ball game for him.
Not only has he rung up a lot of strikeouts, but he still hasn't walked a batter to this point. So his control has been really, really spot on so far.
One of the big stories, we went over some of the scores, and on the postgame show, we'll update everything for you.
Standing in, Kevin Kiermaier.
In San Francisco,
grounded down the third baseline. Strike.
Who had never pitched a 7. Giants
now a sharply hit ball back up the middle. And the Rays are into the hit column with their first hit of the contest.
Tying the game at 2. Breaking ball low, 1-1.
He's gotten off to a really slow start here in April. Maybe this can help him snap out of it. That's a sharp single there.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Evan Longoria. He flew out in his last at-bat. Hard hit ball to second, but this is hauled in by the second baseman.
Memphis did it for Cincinnati in October of 1892. Yeah.
Well, don't worry, I'll tell you, if you keep hitting the ball like this, sooner or later it's going to even out as the season goes on. Just a little unlucky right there as he hits that ball right at him.
2 outs in 8th, and you are pulled because of the pitch count. The pitch. Come back.
Here's Matt Joyce now. And he'll take a cold strike here on a borderline pitch at strike 1.
Yeah, it's only Goya to 6 no-hit innings.
To say something like, hey, you know what? This guy doesn't need any help.
At Casper Field, Fresno 14 and the 51 7.
And that's in there as well. 0-2 now.
Well, no taking now. He's going to have to swing the bat.
Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. 1 left for Tampa. They trail in this one 3-0. Ben Zobrist will stride forward now. He's bounced out a couple of times already here in the ball game.
Just a little off on his earlier swings, guys. You've got to keep that top hand palm up through contact to keep him rolling over.
Action in the Rays' pen now as they've got a lefty and a right-hander up and throwing. High fly ball out to straightaway center.
He's 0 for 3 now.
Is there. Looks it into his glove, and there's 1 gone.
Boy, these are the kind of days where even I want to grab a bat. Everybody on that offense is hitting the ball hard somewhere.
Drew Cortez will step in now. He's bounced out and flown out in his first 2 plate appearances. A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1, 1-0.
Well, you see his pitch count on your screen right there. That's not a mistake. He's been loving those first pitch outs. That's for sure.
Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. Hard hit ball to second. Weeks scoops it up. Throw in time at first for out number 2.
The first baseman, number 24.
Hey, welcome back, friends. Bottom of the 8th inning. Now Fresno, they lead 14-7. The second game of the year.
Ready now, Miguel Cabrera. He singled his last time up.
And Gustave's first pitch is swung on and missed by Gavin Cecchini, who's walked, single and a run, and grounded out 1 for 2.
Well hit the other way, and it's into the gap. Rounding first is Cabrera on his way to second now. And he is into second base with a double, his 3rd hit this afternoon.
Ty Kelly on deck, and leadoff man Wilson Herrera. Jeff Walters using the Vegas bullpen.
Prince Fielder will get an opportunity here in a run-scoring spot now following the 2-out double.
And this is really where you earn your money. Runner on second, 2 outs. Let's see what he can do here.
7-3.
Pulled toward right center field. Peralta on the move. He can't get there, so the inning will continue. They're going to extend their lead as the runner scores from second. That makes it a 4-0 ball game.
Back-to-back doubles here, and maybe more damaging, back-to-back 2-out doubles are going to get him a run. It looked like this inning was under control, but that's the kind of quick strike ability that these guys have.
Debut has a no-hitter going with 2 outs in the 8th inning. And he's pulled because he threw 100 pitches. Chris Hatcher comes in.
Here's Albert now.
Home run, tie
as he swings and pops this one foul off to the right, out of play.
9th inning, Oakland leading at Seattle 3-2. The game's still going on.
Hit to third. Longoria's got it. Throw in time, and the side is retired.
He zeroes in on Reed and throws out Kelly.
But a run will score in the inning on this RBI double. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Jay's out in front here, 4-zip.
Chris Coughlin and Josh Reddick have opened for Oakland. Lee is at 1 for Seattle.
Luke Colon stand in to start things out here in the home half of the 5th. And you get the sense, Steve, that this crowd's been pretty well taken out of the ballgame to this point.
Yeah, they pretty much had to sit on their hands all afternoon. Not a lot to get excited about so far. And I think that's a credit to that man out there on the mound. He's cut right through this lineup for the first 4 innings.
Red Sox battle back to beat Toronto 8-7.
Chop foul right at home plate at strike 1. Price sets his sights. Here's the 0-1.
Pitches inside 2-0. 97 miles.
Tap foul at home plate.
Kansas City held on.
Trying to strike him out for the 2nd time. And he struck him out. The 10th victim set down on strikes thus far.
There's a soft liner over.
All right, folks. Montage alert. Here you get a look at his performance so far. 10 strikeouts for him in the ball game as he continues to just plow right through this lineup one after another.
Brandon Nimmo, who was 0 for 3, also hit by pitch and scored a run. 9 Vegas hits. Arizona did beat the Cubs 3-2 also. The run in the bottom of the 9th inning. Brad Ziegler, the one relief over Trevor Cahill.
Stepping in now, Craig Rogers. As the changeup to him drops in there for the first strike.
Boy, he has been a first strike throwing machine, hasn't he? He's hardly been behind in the count all game long.
No runs, just 1 hit, and no errors for Tampa Bay so far. That's in there, and he's deep in the hole now, 0-2.
Hard to believe he let that one go. That was right on a platter for him.
Nimmo tried to hold up on a low slider. He went way around. Strike 1. 1-1.
Out in front of that one, may have been looking fastball. Good job just to make contact.
If you join us here at Cashman Field.
And he gets him to lift one high in the air and drifting out to shallow center. Under it is Zobrist, 2 away now. There's our line score through the first 4.5, and these guys have basically had the bats taken right out of their hands. Just 1 hit to this point.
Mike Hoshaw, the right-hander for Fresno, wrapping up the series. Then Monday, the Sacramento River Cats. Giants.
David Peralta will dig in. 0 for 1 in the ballgame.
Gustave delivers. Fastball, late swing and a miss. That was 95, tailing away. 2-2.
And he'll power in a fastball that time at 94 for strike 1.
Well on his way to another good inning right here, and you see the pitch count. It's not even close to being a factor just yet.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Swing and a ball chopped foul right at home plate.
On the way with Herrera at first. Breaking ball up and away.
And yet another strikeout here. His 11th of the ball game, and this one ends the inning. Rays go in order, 1, 2, 3. They trail here 4-0. Kirby Yates will get the call here as he'll start the 6th inning on the mound.
Number 49, Kirby
Yates. Look by Gustavo. And Herrera goes. There's a ground down the third baseline. Tough play from Moran.
Jose Lobaton will get us going for the Jays here as they start their half of the 6th.
Moran playing the left-handed hitter far off the line. And Nimmo didn't hit it very hard. A roller toward the bag. Moran angled over, picked it up as momentum carried him right at the chalk.
Ripped down the first base line. This gets foul. It's 0-1.
And Nimmo gets his first hit.
The 0-1 pitch. Here's one that misses high. It's 1-1.
Now Danny Muno, who pinch ran for Reynolds in the 7th after Reynolds walked, and then he scored on Monell's double and took over third for Reynolds. First at bat of the year. Fastball strike to Danny, 0-1. Danny, Long Beach State, 51 stands, no hit.
Hit out towards second. Weeks comes up with it. Throw to first gets him, so the leadoff man's retired here to begin the 6th.
And you know, against a lot of second basemen, this is going to be an infield single. But watch how he fields this thing and then maneuvers his body into a good throwing motion.
Right center for a base hit for Danny Muno. Herrera scores. Nimmo to third base as Kemmer gets it back in. And it's now 14-8 Fresno.
Justin Thune as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce one foul for the first strike. Throw gets him, 2 down.
Well, that's just good pitching right there. Really ties him up with that fastball in on the hands. And he hits just a simple ground ball there for the easy out.
Alexi Amarista stands into the box. He's 0 for 2 so far in this one.
3 straight hits and a run. Here's Monell's having the biggest night of anybody for Las Vegas. 3 for 4, a single,
it's
2 doubles.
Swung on and hit in the air. Kiermaier has it in his tracks, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays. They lead it 4-0. Orlando Looney will come in now to start things out here in their half of the 6th as they look for a reversal of fortunes here. The first 5 innings have not been particularly kind to them.
Yeah, and I think that's putting it mildly. Just 1 hit in these first 5 innings. They're going to need to do a better job of finding good pitches.
Settling in.
But that fellow on the mound has not
been
easy.
It's fun not being 8th in the 6th.
Front of the plate at 97 miles an hour. 0-1. It's over at Safeco Field. Oakland held on to beat Seattle. Will run in the 9th inning, 3-2. Sean Doolittle will win. Steve Syshek. Ryan Madsen to save. Here's the 0-1-1 pitch.
And some action now in the Toronto bullpen as a right-hander starts.
14-9 Fresno with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 8th inning.
Halfway to 100 pitches. Here it is. And he just keeps rolling along as he starts another batter out with strike 1.
And that has been the comfort zone so far in this outing. He's just lived on that outside corner, and it's paid big dividends for him.
And Gustave gets set. The 1-1 to Johnny Monell. Fastball, high ball, 2. 2-1.
Price into his motion. Here he comes 0-1. Right by him here, and he's set up for another strikeout here. The count to 0-2.
And this is part of why he's had a lot of success so far. He's done a lot of work on the edges and stayed out of the middle of the strike zone.
And he's just rolling right now, and even dozen strikeouts for
winning streak of theirs. We've seen some great starting pitching, and this has been another very good performance. Good enough to most likely keep that winning streak going.
Ryan Hennigan is into the box. He was a strikeout victim in his first try.
Well, at the very least, he went down hacking. Striking out is one of the many frustrations that go along with hitting. You have to accept that it's going to happen sometime.
Full count. Wanders off second base. Pena setting a target for Gustave. All righty set. Payoff pitch to Johnny Manel.
That's taken. Now it's 0-2.
He's just working east and west here. He'll be fine if he just stays out of the middle.
Hitting just under it, and the count stays full.
Got him. As he just continues to mow down these hitters. 13 strikeouts now.
And a lot of times, you might say, 4-run lead, we'll make that up. But I tell you, the way he's throwing the ball right now, they might be fortunate just to get one run off it.
Jemile Weeks will stand in now with 2 away, trying to avoid another 1-2-3 inning.
Now, this has been total domination these past few innings. They haven't been able to mount any kind of threat whatsoever.
Long check of Pena. Manel back in. And off the bag at second with Fontana playing right behind him at shortstop. 3-2 to Manel. On the way again. High foul. Backing out of play. Pena back for
and this is hit in the air over toward the left field line. Dillard moving in. No trouble with this one, and the inning is over.
Walk off in the bottom of the 10th inning. A home run
down in order go the Rays. They're down 4-0.
The Dodgers out-hit the Giants 9-2. But the Giants win, and again, what'll be the subject of all kinds of chit-chat.
Back here at Tropicana Field in St. Pete. 7th inning coming up with the Jays out in front as we give you a look at our game summary to this point.
When he had a no-hitter going in San Francisco because of the pitch count, and they lost. Here's the 3-2 to Johnny Manel.
David Alvarez is set to get us started for the late innings of this one.
Keeps the inning alive for Travis Tyrone. Tyrone
swinging a soft liner.
A slow night tonight. 0 for 4.
And the throw to first is in time, so the leadoff man is gone here to start inning number 7.
An opportunity now. Take a big chunk out of the Fresno lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. We're 2 on and 2 out.
Ben Zobrist will stand in, and they've done a good job keeping him off base at the top of the lineup. He's 0 for 3 thus far.
Yeah, guys, not really providing the spark that they usually hope to get out of him. Maybe you can make something happen right here.
Delivers.
Sends that one out of play for strike 1. Now we see a lefty and a right-hander start to loosen up in the bullpen. He's set. Here's the 0-1. That misses wide. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Outfield bounce straight away. Righty on righty. Tyrone wags that bat over the right shoulder. Gustave set with a 1-0.
Driven to right field and deep. Peralta going back. Gone!
14-9. Fresno leading the bottom of the 8th.
So a solo home run off the bat of Ben Zobrist. Home run number 5 on the year. And the Blue Jays are running away with it here. It's now a 5-0
inside
ball
third,
game.
down the line, past a diving Moran. Over to pick it up is Harris. Buno scores. Manel to third base on a long single by Tyrone. And it's now 14-10 Fresno. And here comes Mark Krause.
You just can't throw that pitch right there. That swing tells a story right there. I mean, he got all of that one. Remember, he homered in yesterday's ball game too, so he's riding a pretty good hot streak these past couple of days.
Tyrone hits one inside third, and Harris went over to hustle over and pick it up.
Drew Cortez as he goes after the first pitch and lines one out through right center. A leaping try, but it's out of his reach and into the outfield. And he'll cruise into the bag at second with a 1-out double.
Down 14-6, got 1 in the 7th. They've scored 3 more.
Here's another look at this swing in slow motion. And check out the hand, getting in a good position. He'll start to rotate and then whack. That's great extension all the way through the ball.
He's batting with perfect swing right there. Tyrone at first. 2 outs. 51s with a dozen hits. And it's all the damage here with 2 outs.
The first baseman Miguel Cabrera stands in. Bounced softly in front of the plate. Hannigan gonna have to hurry on to first, and there were 2 down. A block at the plate, and he's out trying to score. It's a double play, and the inning is over. Jays add 1 more on the solo home run. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up.
Sounds great. It's 7 no-hit innings.
5. The Rays nothing. Leading off the inning, Kevin Kiermaier, and they'll need him to get something going here.
And so far in this one, they're still getting shut out. So this lead off that bat could be huge if he can just get on base, because they've been held in check all game.
On deck,
Darren O'Day will get the ball now as he'll take over on the mound to start the home 7th.
0-1.
Darren O'Day.
The pitch. Fastball below the knees at 95. Ball 1. 1-1. L stands at third, Tyrone at first. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. 3 runs in. Las Vegas played catch-up all night and finally won. They're playing catch-up all night tonight and still trying to catch up. The 1-1 to Kraus. Slider, shot foul right by the first base on deck area. And it's 1-2. Walters had been throwing, stopped, and now has resumed his throwing in the right field pen. 1-2.
Kevin Kiermaier will start things out here for the Rays, to be followed on deck by Evan Longoria.
Well, they've got some work to do here, but there's still a lot of time left in this game, so just chip away, chip away.
And he delivers.
Watches a fastball right there for strike 1.
Not a bad idea when you're facing a guy with a funky delivery like his. You go up there taking a pitch, get yourself a better idea of the release point that he's showing you, and how to time that delivery a little bit better.
And a close play at first, but a great stretch that time as they get him by a step for out number 1.
Yeah, it's kind of been one of those days. There haven't been too many balls hit hard, and even when they do hit hard, it's an atom ball.
1 out now in the Tampa Bay 7th, and standing in here is the very dangerous third baseman Evan Longoria.
2-2.
And he takes ball 1.
Pretty big pitch coming up now with a 2-2 count, 2 on and 2 out.
Bases are empty, 1 man out.
Ohio native.
That one will get out of play, and the count evens up at 1-1.
And again, taps home plate twice.
Chop foul over towards the dugout.
One out off third, Tyrone off first with 2 down. Good 2-2 pitch. Fastball hit on the ground to first. Grab by Reed, who steps on the bag to retire the side. Good play by Reed. That took a tricky hop.
And a swing and a miss there by Longoria as he can't connect, and that's a big second out now.
And here you go from behind the plate. This is a good angle to show how that 4-seam fastball will rise at the end. And that's a pitch that's awfully difficult to get on top of.
Here's Matt Joyce now, as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce one foul for the first strike. Ready with the 0-1. Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. And he is down on strikes again, so get your hats out. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game. Rays go in order, 1, 2, 3. Need to get it going soon. It's 5-0. Mike Minor will come on in relief as he'll make his 2nd appearance of the season so far.
Mike Minor.
Prince Fielder will stand in here, but before he does, let's take you back to the very first inning. This was a 2-run home run right out of the gate that really got these guys off to a fast start. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Calling for it, Kiermaier. 1 out.
Third baseman, number 7.
Time to bring you up to date on the numbers for our 2 starters. It's our starter comparison, and the hometown 9 have had trouble generating much by way of hits, as you can see by the left side of your screen.
51s have piled up 10 runs on 12 hits, but Fresno
Albert Pujols
14 runs
will
on
stand
17
in. One of the
hits.
few
They've led the whole
guys
way.
not to join the hit parade so
51-7.
far.
Yeah, guys,
Battle
he's got to
back.
be feeling a little bit like that
They were
dog that
down
gets left
7-0.
out in the rain
They were down
while the rest of the
14-6.
family's inside by the
And now
fire.
they're down
I guess he's
14-10.
just not seeing
But
what
they
everyone
only have
else
an
is.
inning left.
High in the air
Release
out
dead
to
even.
center
Jeff
field.
Walters comes out of the
Kiermaier
bullpen.
moving to his left. Makes the
Here
play,
comes the
and
sixth
there are
pitcher,
two
fine
gone
outing by
now.
Paul Sewell. AAA debut.
Now batting.
Bishop Gorman guy.
This is
5
not
up,
normally
5
the
down.
kind of swing you
3 ground outs
associate
and
with
2
a good
strikeouts.
hitter
His
like
perfect
this.
inning in 2/3.
I mean, he's caught
With Lugo,
reaching for a pitch that
Alvarez,
he really has no
Pimentel,
business swinging at, and
Thornton,
that becomes a very
Sewald, and
easy
now
out.
Walters. Walters threw a scoreless inning last night, striking out 1, walking 1. And the native Floridian
Into the
will
box,
face
Jose
A.G.
Lobaton.
Reed.
Guess he'll
Jamie
go
North and
after the
John
first
Singleton,
pitch and
3,
bounce
4,
one
5.
foul for the first
Fresno only
strike.
2 open frames, the second and the 8th. And Walters facing Reed. Slider jumps in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. And the Giants win over the Dodgers.
And it's quickly
Garcia, the
0-2.
runner relief over Joe Blanton, who served up their walk-off winner to Brandon Crawford. Giants now 4-1. The Dodgers
Out in front of that one, but he stays alive and will do it again on 0-2.
One game still going on. In Anaheim, bottom of the 8th, Texas 7, the Angels 3. 1-1 on A.J. Reed. Reed doubled in a run and scored, walked and scored, struck out twice, doubled
Neither
another
guy
run
giving
scored.
in here,
2
and
for
they'll
4.
do it again.
Here's the 1-1 to Reed from Jeff Walters. Fly ball
2
to
out,
right
nobody
center,
on.
shallow, cruising in his Tyrone to make the catch. 1 out. Danny Wirth will come up.
Filthy changeup that time, but he's able to make contact, and he'll get another chance.
Wirth is grounded out, singled and scored,
Shot
singled
foul
again,
at the
flied
plate,
out,
and he
walked
stays
scored.
alive,
2
still
for 4.
0-2.
Walters faced him last night and got him to strike
This
out.
is skied into short
14-10
left center.
first
Kiermaier
One
has
out
a
base,
beat
still
on
top
it,
of the ninth. Walters
and
deal.
the inning is
Fastball,
over.
high ball 1, 1-0.
Blue Jays go down in order, but they hold a 5-0 lead.
Part of 14, part of 15, surgery. But he was a closer prior to that and trying to regain that form. Here's the 1-0. Wirth. Fastball
Leading off
fouled
the
the
inning,
runner play,
Luke
1-1.
Cologne, and they'll need him to get
Something
something.
a pretty big deficit in this game, so they need to start clawing their way back.
Starts him out with the slider for a strike. This man out for his second inning of work, and why not? He set him down 1-2-3 the last time around.
Right, and with 2 strikeouts mixed in there as well. Just let him keep going.
Right at 94. That's out of play. 1-2. Walters blowing on that right hand. 1-2 to
On
count.
its way, the 0-2 pitch. Struck him out as his woes continue, as that's his 3rd strikeout of the
2 strikes
game.
on Danny
Yeah,
Wirth.
make it 3 straight strikeouts for him now. But what's impressive is that these aren't just any hitters up there. These are the 3, 4, and 5 guys in the lineup. And he went through them like they weren't even there.
Fastball down to the short.
Craig Rogers will stand in now. He struck out and flied out 0 for 2 thus far. First pitch on its way. Sinker to open the AB in there for strike 1. Credit where credit's due. This guy's done a good job out of the bullpen.
That's
No
scheduled
question.
the bottom 3.
He's been able to hold that lead, and
Gavin
these
Cecchini,
guys
and then
really
Ty
haven't
Kelly.
threatened him
Gets
at all.
up. It would be Dilson Herrera.
Chop
come up.
foul right at home plate. And
Singleton
another
3
foul
for
ball.
4 with 4 RBIs. But he's not going to hit. Here's the announcement on the pinch hitter.
Swinging a liner toward the gap in left center. And this is going to find the seam as it scoots through on the carpet for
Yuri
extra
Perez.
bases.
E-U-R-Y,
Around second.
Perez.
He'll try for
The
third.
right-handed hitting outfielder will bat instead.
And he is in
Not
there
play
at
last
third
night's
with a
first
one-out
appearance
triple.
of the season. Fastball, high ball 1.
This is an excellent chance now to get on the board for the first time. They get a man up to third here on the triple, and with
Batting
only
for
1 out,
Singleton.
they'll have a couple of shots
Righty
here to
on
get him
right.
in.
Fastball in for a strike
David
at 94.
Peralta
1-1.
will stand in now in what could be a real make-or-break situation.
And you think at this point you have to get something out of this
14-10
inning. The
Fresno,
further you get
top
into
of the
that
ninth.
bullpen, the
Walters.
tougher it's going to be to claw back from this deficit.
Perez with that straight up stance on the right side. And that pitch is just low, maybe. Ball 2. 2-1. Perez had a great
And he gets ahead here with the fastball. Strike 1.
Last year and also the AAA team in Gwinnett. It'll be 26
now a swing and a ball chopped
Here's the
foul right at home plate.
Fastball just low. That was close.
Again, he sends it out of play.
Walters is 28. Moving to Florida, the hometown.
Grounded to short. Amarista's got it. Throw will get him for the second out, but meanwhile the run is in to score from third.
Well, in the second inning of this game, that's probably a great at-bat. But with time running out to get back into this one, that's not exactly what you're hoping for. You'll take the run, but it's the out that was much more important.
Stepping in now, Orlando Looney, as he will take strike one on the fastball here. No balls and a strike.
A base hit into center field. Nimmo scoops it up and gets it back into Rivera. A 3-2 fastball. Perez in his first at bat of the year. Pinch hit.
Late decision to swing that time, and as a result, it's 0-2.
Keeps the inning going for third base.
He's ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he struck him out. And there's the hat trick, as that's his third strikeout of the ball game. So it's 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. 9th inning coming up. Toronto leads this one 5-1. Justin Dillard will step in, a ground out pick of his last time.
The pitch is a strike. Go to second by Monell, and he is safe. Good throw by Monell.
Minor into the windup. First pitch on the way.
But
high in the air in the shallow left center.
Against Walters, and he steals it despite a good throw by Monell.
Kiermaier is there, and it's a picture-perfect beginning to the 9th inning for a pitcher. 1 pitch, 1 away.
And this is all about taking charge out there. That's the center fielder's ball if he can get there. So he calls everybody off, and he makes the play easily.
Last night, did not face each other. Here's the strike.
Alexi Amarista
He's going to third.
in.
The
One
pitch
of the
is
few
low.
guys
Third by
not
Monell.
to join the hit
Hits
parade
the runner,
so far.
and it caroms in the left field.
Here's the first
so
pitch to
in
him.
the score is Perez as Kelly picks the ball up, and it's now 15-10 Fresno.
Oh, he makes the stop.
Muno
it's
playing
there.
way
He
off
got
the
him.
bag because it's a left-handed batter. And so Perez kind of exploiting that, broke for third.
Like that,
so Danny had to go long ways to get into the neighborhood.
But not this
and
time.
Manel's
What
throw hit the
tremendous
sliding
defense
runner
out there.
and in the left
Great
field.
diving stop, makes the play and gets the out, and the pitcher acknowledges it, and he's
Perez
happy about it.
steals third after stealing second. We'll see how the rest of it is scored.
Standing in now, David Alvarez.
2-1.
As he swings and hits a line drive out to left. A screaming base hit here, his first of the night. And going for it, the right call. He's in at second base with a 2-out double. And now there's no happier person in the ballpark.
And the pitch.
David Alvarez just recorded his first hit as a big leaguer. And as you'd expect would happen, there's the ball being sent into the dugout. Someone will tuck it away for him to put in his trophy case.
And you know, Matt, nothing can quite prepare you for this kind of moment. Of course, as a player, you always expect to do well. And in your head, you've got a certain idea of what it's going to feel like. But there's quite a difference between imagining how it's going to feel and then actually getting that first hit.
A ton of full counts on both sides in this game.
Ben Zobrist will stand in to try it again, already with 1 home run in the ball game, and on cue, there it was back in the 7th inning, a solo shot that provided quite a spark for these guys.
To Danny Muno. Here's the 3-2 to Moran, and he checks his swing, and the pitch is low for ball 4. And the batter's Kemmer.
Swing and a flare hit toward right. Peralta has a play, and that's the 3rd out. Danger averted following the 2-out double. More matinee baseball here on a Wednesday afternoon following this.
Walters got the first 2 men out easily. And Perez rolled one up the middle, stole second, stole third, and scored. As Manel's throw.
Striding in to start the 9th, Ryan Hennigan. And they'll need him to get something going here. He's set. Here it comes.
The dirt gets behind
and he takes a pitch that's ruled a strike at the knees. Pretty liberal strike zone there. It's 0-1. The win would belong to David Price if the lead holds up.
Kemmer's last at bat was in the 7th. He struck out facing Seawall. Now we're in the 9th.
A little quick on that swing, and he finds himself behind 0-2. Looking for the strikeout. Here's the 0-2
Jason
pitch.
Bradford, who got the win last night.
Can't quite get around in time to keep it
Ramos
fair, and it
toward
remains
third, charged
0-2.
by Muno, and Muno tags Moran going by from second to third, and that's the inning.
Here comes the 0-2
1 run
pitch.
scores for Fresno.
Chopped weakly to the left.
1 hit, 1 error.
And taking
That's
it out there
for
for the
bottom
first
of the ninth
out.
inning. Fresno 15, 51's 10.
Now batting.
And then the Leo doubles to make it 6-0 A's in the 7th, and at the Leo doubles to make it 1-0 White Sox.
Will stand in, needing to do something here to get on base as they're down to their final 2 outs.
Yeah, and you just can't worry about the score right here. You just got to be able to string together a couple of base runners and take it 1 pitch at a time, 1 runner at a time.
And here's a ball hit in the air. Zobrist is there, and quickly 2 are gone here, and it's not looking good for the home 9.
Well, this is just kind of a little soft humpback liner, and these look like the easiest plays in the world, but Eric will tell you, sometimes a ball can knuckle on you a little bit. It didn't happen to him right there, and that's an easy play.
Standing in, Kevin Kiermaier. As he'll swing and hit this one hard, but foul off to the left and out of play. Hit hard down the line toward the coaching box. It's a foul ball. Another one sent foul. Has them down to their final strike. Here it comes. A little bit off the outside. It's 1-2. Still 1-2 as he fouls it away. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that'll do it here as the ball game is over.
And this save will wind up being the 3-inning variety, and that's got to be okay with him as he gets the final 9 outs to finish off this victory.
Yes, indeed. Bottom of the 9th inning. A hitter's heaven tonight. That's Cashman Field. 15-10 Fresno. Grizzlies 3 outs away from getting their first one of the year, evening up the series, and they bring in their closer righty James Hoyt to try to finish it off. They try to save it for Asher Wojciechowski. Edward Cabrera went an inning and 2/3, and Handel Gustave.
One more look at the final line score there to see the great pitching performance that led his guys to the victory.
Hoyt, big righty wearing number 58, comes in. Hoyt's 2016 debut. 6'6", 230. 29 in September out of Boise, Idaho, to the Grizzlies last year also.
And guys, we were treated to an excellent pitching performance in this one by the gentleman you see right here. David Price. Don't put that card in your bicycle spokes. He's our top player of the game.
2 for 4, 2 singles, 2 RBIs.
Really a dominating performance out there. Look at all the strikeouts. I mean, they just couldn't touch him.
After that, 15-10. Fresno, and the pitch in the dirt on a check swing. They appeal no swing at first. Confirms John Bostwick. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Nobody out. Bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the 1-1.
So that'll just about do it for us this afternoon. Thanks to Eric Karros, Steve Lyons, and the rest of our crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a presentation of MLB The Show. To find out more, head on over to theshownation.com. The Blue Jays come out on top, 5-1. So long from Tampa.
0-1, 9 saves at 3.49 ERA. Over
Fans,
49
our
innings.
final line score this afternoon.
11 walks.
First for the victorious Blue Jays. 5 runs, 12 hits.
1-2 outside, 2-2. Hoyt overcame big odds to become a potential piece in the bullpen of a big league team. He went to Palomar Junior College in Florida and the Cincinnati. He helped out with a high school team while working on sailboats in San Diego. He and Seth Lugo. Cincinnati. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Rivera out on strikes, 1 out. Or Cicchini, 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI single. It's a tough pitch right there. Hard slider down and away.
Good Thursday morning to you, Show Nation. Let's jump right into Wednesday's baseball action. Looking first at the American League East, the Blue Jays grabbed the 4-game series sweep as they took down the Rays in St. Petersburg 5-1. The Yankees got the home victory against the Astros 4-2. Dave Lockett tossed a dominating complete game shutout as the Twins defeated the Orioles 4-0. Chris Davis drove in 4, helping the Tribe pass the Red Sox 7-5. The A's got 12 hits in this one as they dismantled the White Sox 10-4. The Mariners combined for a 4-hitter as they grabbed the win over the Rangers in Arlington 4-1. Gio Gonzalez was untouchable on the mound, crafting an amazing no-hit performance, helping the Nats down the Braves 2-0. The Tigers finished off a 2-game sweep as they manhandled the Marlins 13-2. Jay Bruce had a day to remember, amassing an impressive 7 RBIs at the plate, leading the Reds over the Phillies 12-2. His modest hitting streak was also extended to 5 straight games. Michael Morse launched 2 home runs and added 5 RBIs to his total as the Giants disposed of the Brewers 9-2. He has now hit safely in 7 straight games. The St. Louis Cardinals knocked out 10 hits as a team as they plundered the Pirates 9-0. The Arizona Diamondbacks put together 10 hits total as they bested the visiting Rockies 9-6. Yonder Alonso added 3 RBIs to his total as San Diego beat the Dodgers 6-5.
Here's a 2-2.
As always, thanks for tuning in. That's all we've got this morning. Enjoy the games later today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
96-mile-an-hour fastball. Applin gets it back in. Cheney's second hit. Las Vegas has 13 hits, and the batter's Ty Kelly. Didn't play last night. Tonight, 0 for 3 with a walk. Grounded out to second in the 8th inning in this last at-bat.
TGIF, and welcome to Inside the Show. Starting in the AL East, Nick Markakis was a force at the plate, driving in 3 runs, leading the Orioles to the win over the Twins 5-4. As of today, the Orioles are in second place in the AL East. The Twins are in 4th place in the AL Central. The Stros allowed 5 hits in the game as they took down the Yankees in the Bronx 1-0. At the moment, the Yankees sit in second place in the American League East Division. The Astros are in 3rd place in the AL West. The Indians combined for 10 hits as a team as they beat the visiting Red Sox 7-4. Right now, the Indians sit in second place in the AL Central Division. The Red Sox are in 4th place in the AL East. The Rangers allowed only 5 hits as they pulled off the win against the Angels in Orange County 4-1. Heading into today, the Angels sit in 3rd place in the American League West Division. The Rangers sit in last place in the American League West Division. The Oakland Athletics tallied 5 home runs overall as they took down the Chi Sox in front of a home crowd 8-0. Looking at the standings, the A's are in 2nd place in the AL West. The White Sox sit in 3rd place in the American League Central. The Washington Nationals sent 3 balls into the seats as they beat the visiting Marlins 4-2. At the moment, the Nationals sit atop the NL East. The Marlins are in 4th place in the NL East.
Kemmer gets
it
back in.
Completed a short 2-game sweep as they defeated the visiting Fighting Phils 1-0. Right now, the Reds are atop the NL Central. The Phillies sit in 4th place in the National League East Division.
Herrera 2 for
the
5, a single and a double,
out
and 2
10
runs
hits
scored.
as a team as they nabbed the win against the visiting Cubs 7-3.
Goes out to have a
Heading
word
into
with
today,
It's that
the
kind of night.
Diamondbacks are atop the NL West. The Cubs
Hi,
are in 3rd
Team
place
NBA.
in the NL Central. The Los Angeles Dodgers combined to give up just 5 hits as they got the win over the Giants in San Francisco 3-1. Looking at the standings, the Giants
And Team
are in
NBA,
3rd place in the NL West.
MLB
The Dodgers
16
sit
is
in
worth
3rd place
buying
in the
if
National
you're
League West
interested in
Division.
buying it.
And that's what's going on around baseball heading into today's action. Join us again tomorrow for more updates from around Major League Baseball.
Two on, 1 out. Righty on righty, here we go. Slider down the way. Hit by Pete, the ball 1-0. Already brings his hands together right in front of his chest in the 1-0. Fastball low with 95. 2-0 on Dilson Herrera. Joyce peering in. Wagging that bat up and back. Here's the 2-0 look now. And the pitch. Fastball, foul back. Get a big rip of that 95-mile-an-hour pitch. Strike one, 2-1. Grizzlies up 2-0, 5-0, 7-0, 7-3, 9-3, 9-6, 10-6, 14-6, 14-7, 14-10, now 15-10, 2-1. Mania offers up a sign. Now a target. This will be a 2-1 to Herrera. Fastball grounded slowly toward short. Fontana has it, goes to second base, and they just get the sliding Ty Kelly. 2 down. On the play, Cicchini takes third. Slowly hit balls, so that made it a close play at second. Kelly's out. On the fielder's choice, Cicchini goes to third. 2 outs. Fontana able to make that play. If not, the bases would have been loaded, and with Nimmo coming up, the tying run would have been on deck. Now, Fresno only needs 1 out to put the game away. Cicchini's at third. Herrera is at first on the fielder's choice. And here's Nimmo. 1 for 4 with a single 2-run score. Fastball swing and a miss, strike one. If Nimmo keeps it alive, it'll be Danny Muno next. 0-1. Cicchini off third. And Herrera off first. Here's the 0-1. Herrera goes. A late swing and a miss by Nimmo. And it's 0-2. And Herrera advances to second base. Was likely to be defensive and different. 0-2. And it is. Second and third, 2 down. 0-2. Hoyt stares in. Nimmo waits. The strike 2 pitch to Brandon Nimmo. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He got him, and that's it. This one is over. Fresno gets its first win. They beat the 51s 15-10 to even things up in the series at 1 apiece. The totals coming your way next, right after this. Okay. All right, welcome back. We got a fireworks show coming up, so we'll breeze through this. Fresno gets even now. Each team 1-1 as they beat the 51s 15-10 on 18 hits and no errors, leaving 10. Las Vegas 10 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors, leaving 10. Winning pitcher Asher Wojciechowski now 1-0. The loser Seth Lugo 0-1. 5,689 in the attendance, 3 hours, 36 minutes. The time of the game. Las Vegas went without a home run in this particular contest. And John Singleton hit the game's only home run in the 6th inning, his first of the year for the Fresno Grizzlies. We're going to do a little brief rundown of this game and get to some scores as the post-game show will begin right after this. Okay. Plainly here, the fireworks are going off right now, so we'll make this a brief post-game report. Certainly not a brief game. The Grizzlies winning at 15-10. They were never really threatened, and they were ahead 9-6 in the fifth inning. That was the closest look Las Vegas got to the game, because when it was 9-6 at one point, Las Vegas had the tying run on deck. Then Fresno pulled away for the win to get even in the series at 1 win apiece. When I come back, we'll check the Major League scores next. That'll be right after this.
Did Edwin. I won 142 games and lost only 20 in 2016. Then in 2015, I won the World Series. And then in 2015, I won only 86 and lost 76. And I still won the pussy. Boston and Yankees then. Sonny Gray has pitched 8 no-hit innings, so the Bill has a homer to make it 2-0 White Sox in the third, and the Indians win 6-1. Mets are struggling. Look at that. The Indians continue to lead the division. Yes, they won again. And Lizzo Kane doubles to cut the East lead to 61-9, and the A's win 6-1. What was last week's fight? Osuma doesn't have to worry about the other week. The O's. The O's. He did not get a save opportunity. Oh man, look at that. Marcus. Oh man. He's gonna piss. See, look. 3 games in New York, 4 games at Boston, and 3 games at Baltimore. And that would take me to the 21st of April. That's just one. That one's a 7. Then 1. Then 7. 7. 7. Then 1. Then 7. Then now it's at 1. 1. 1. 7. 7. 7. 1. 7. 7. Okay. So I have 46 Bonds, 99 Dwight Bonds, 37 stolen bases, 78% swing, 40 intentional walks, 30 pickup attempts, 99 strikes, 55% fastball. This is what I can't believe. Look, I can't believe I started. My career with Major League Baseball 14 to so. Yeah, I can't believe in the month of I can't believe in the month of maybe January and February and March I was playing really baseball 15 or so. Like, I had to play the 2015 playoffs. And I ended up winning the playoffs. That was it. Skip the little get there. Wayne did I? No. I'm thinking about going to bed and sit on Adams. Oh, yeah.